Greetings, everyone. We are live again. Me and brother Calathenos, Genesis, who's still on his Liberia high. Still on his Liberia high. But greetings, everyone. We are live again. Dynasty Mirror, search for Uhuru. Thank you so much for joining us. Make sure you go to dynastymirror.com. Again, please go to dynastymirror.com. Also, like, share, and subscribe. Again, please, guys, we are approaching 90,000 subscribers. We are at 90,000 subscribers, almost 90,000. Once we get to 100,000, I have a special gift for a lucky person who's a subscriber. A special gift. I don't know how I'm going to do it as far as I'm going to do a raffle or do what. Pick a name out of a hat. Well, that is a raffle. But we're going to figure it out. So again, once we get to 100K, I have a special gift. Also, make sure you already said dynastymirror.com tour. We have a tour coming up. Tour April 19th through the 29th. We will be in Sierra Leone. Come and join us, family. Again, please come and join us. We are going to have an awesome time in Sierra Leone. So come and join us. Also, patreon.com, search for Uhuru. Patreon.com, search for Uhuru. Become a monthly Patreon. I owe some people some postcards. Let me grab a postcard real quick. I know I owe some of you guys some postcards. So, in fact, this is what we'll do. Whoever super chats tonight, you get a postcard, okay? I'm gonna send out a postcard. Whoever super chats, you'll get a postcard. So when you super chat, do me a favor, email me your mailing address, and I will send out a postcard, okay? And then also too, if you cash app me, cash app $20, cash app sign, dollar sign, Amir Dynast, autograph copy of one of my children's books. Again, autograph copy of one of my children's books. Go ahead and cash app me. I'll put the cash app in the chat room, or it's also scrolling at the bottom of the screen. I will send you an autograph copy of one of my children's books, $20, and it is yours. Again, once you do it, email me your address, your mailing address, so I can send it to you. So that's what we're doing today. What's going on in the chat room? I can send it to you. So again, like, share, and subscribe. Let me turn this phone off so we will not be disturbed. Bam, that's off. So like, share, and subscribe. Super chat, you get a postcard. Cash app, $20. You'll get an autographed copy of one of my books. Without further ado, we got our brother Calathenos on with us today. And Kala, we'll just go ahead and jump right into it, brother. We had a very detailed conversation earlier today, and I'm like, we got to do a show on this topic.
Yeah.
So Kala, go ahead and jump right into it.
The reason why I came up with this topic was the fact that, I've been, at this for years and decades. And the one thing I never, I have everybody, wow, I've heard the biggest speeches. I've been to the biggest conferences. Man, I've heard the most Black Powerist, man. If you want to get high on that stuff, man,
In fact, here we go. Founders Day was yesterday.
Oh, yeah, Savers Day.
Savers Day, I'm sorry,
Savers Day, yeah. Man, like I said, I can't even listen to it no more, I done heard everything that there is to hear. I done read every book there is to read, I'm at the point now where, the point I'm at right now, I'm tired of talk. I want to see action, right? I want to see action. And if people aren't coming to the table with something action, money, tangibles, and stuff like that, I don't take you seriously. That's the point I'm at right now. Everybody got everything. It's always like this. It's always like the people with the ideas have no resources, and the people with the resources have no ideas. You think that's any coincidence? That the dumbest people among us get the millions and billions of dollars that don't do nothing but party and show up on the red carpet, And the people that got the ideas how to transform us, build communities and everything like that, they can't get a nickel or a dime. They can't get 1 cent. They can't get anything. And so it goes to show, and then we have people, we have a political class in both in Africa and America, right? They're riding high off the hog. You know, when you send these congressmen to Congress, right? They're making all kinds, like Maxine Waters. Didn't her husband was involved with a banking scandal or whatever, and stuff like that. You're sending these people, Auntie Maxine, to Congress. She's making $180,000 a year, plus all the inside connections and everything. This new black Secretary of Defense, right? From what I hear, he has a subsidiary. He just got a $200 million contract with a company that he's part owner of. That's corruption. So basically, what I'm saying is, what we think is progress, right? It's only progress for a few. There's nothing. The masses of people never benefit from any of this stuff that we talk about. You know, none of this stuff we talk about. Same thing goes on the continent, right? Governments will take out loans, will put the future generations at risk in paying off debt. And let me tell you something, right? Back in 2007, right, Africa had caught up with its external debt. A remarkable feat. Nigeria was one of the first countries. They said it caught up with its debt that was piled on by past dictatorships and everything. Because the World Bank and the IMF and these people don't care if it was squandered, whatever. The country is still have to pay that debt back. And in that time period, right, did we get an integrated highway system for the continent? No. Did we get an integrated railway system? This stuff has been on the books for decades. An integrated railway system, a way to divert water from the Great Lakes in the Congo region, right, to the Sahara Desert, the green Sahara Desert. These are things that's on the books that say we could divert water through underwater canals to green the Sahara to stop the desert erosion, which now they predicted what's going on in the Sahara and Yoruba land in Nigeria. They predicted that 20 years ago, that the herdsmen are gonna have to move south because the desert is creeping thing, and no one's doing anything about it. So you might have Nigeria, right, all north of the Benue River, Niger-Benue River, all being desert in a decade or so. So these things, like I say, they're on the books. These are coastal erosion. Lagos did a good thing with the famous governor Fashola, right? They built a seawall of Lagos, right, to stop the coastal erosion of Lagos and Lake Victoria Island. And so they got a seawall, and that was a bold move. But things like that should have been done all over the continent because Africa is losing its coastline. So what I'm saying is this, though. What I'm saying is this: we as the black the race, right? We don't take all these things seriously because we always think that there's another race that's going to come in and save us. It's easier to migrate to the West, and it's easier to become a globalist. And this is what I'm finding out too. There's too many of our brothers and sisters from Africa that are globalists. What do I mean by globalists? Everyone's celebrating that there's a black woman that's the head of the World Trade Organization. You know, okay. Now, what is an African woman doing head of a World Trade, or what does that do? You know, World Trade always about free trade and everything. Here you got the least developed continent, right? The continent that benefits the least out of world global trade. But yet you got a black woman as the head of it, right, from Africa, and everybody's celebrating. Like that's some big accomplishment. So I asked the question, are we really serious about development? Are we serious about getting ahead? Are we about symbols, no substance? And that's a question I want to talk about tonight. Yeah. Same thing here in America. 2021, we're still celebrating Black First. First Black Secretary of Defense. First Black man to use the bathroom at the White House. First Black man. you know, I mean, it's insulting to our intelligence, right? Because we know better, but that's what they say. We still have people talking about there wasn't enough black people at the global award. What the hell is a global award? You know, Oscar's so white. You know, well, but I'm saying every time I look around, Dynas, I'm seeing a new black movie coming out. There's so many I can't even count. Right. Yeah, people keep talking about, oh, Hollywood's ignoring black people. Now look, I'm like, are you kidding me? Every time I look around, there's a new black movie coming out. You know, that had to stop Tyler Perry and all these other people and everything. Why don't you start making quality films that don't insult our intelligence? That reason, other than that, but it's all about white validation, and nobody like, where's the black film studios financing? Okay, we got Tyler Perry Studios, right? But we still talk about, oh, we can't get financing for our projects. How about financing your own movies? How about finding you can make money financing films? And so this is what I'm talking about. And I asked the question: are we, as a race, really serious about getting ahead? Because all of us laymen down here on the bottom, right? We're all we're fine up here, but that's not hard to get the layman. The layman always go, oh yeah. It's when you get the people with the money and the power involved, then you got something. And for the most part, the people with the money and power in our race, they don't want to hear nothing about no revolution. They think everything's all right. They want to quiet us down. Jay-Z might get a minor ownership of an NFL team, and we'll go back to be like, okay, like that. All that, whatever happened to all the protests and everything, NFL all got out the door.
What happened to justice for Breonna Taylor?
Oh, man.
And George Floyd. What happened?
I'll tell you what happened. It happened when Joe Biden got elected, right? All these people just somehow disappeared. Nobody's serious. Nobody's serious about police brutality. No one's serious about crime in our community. No one's serious about unemployment. No one's serious. Everyone thinks this is a game, and they get up on TV, right? They get the little 15 minutes, right? They know once they appear on MSNBC, they're going to get a whole bunch of clicks and likes and everything. They're going to write in their blog and everything. And the bottom line is everyone's caking off of black misery. As long as there's black misery, they're going to eat. That's all it is. Nobody's serious about solving the problem. It's not anything people are going to do. And I love for anybody to try to debate me on this.
What we're going to do, we're going to open the lines in about 25 minutes. So
yeah,
come in.
And I want to know where all the Biden supporters at. Why are they hiding, Dynas? I've been looking at a horror show for the last week that I've been home, Dynas, right? A horror show. The horror show I've been looking at, right, is driving by my 7-Eleven and watching the gas price rise, And I see Negroes out there. I see you Negroes with their big bug eyes and whatnot, riding by, seeing that gas price going up and whatnot. Woo! Yeah. Massa Biden is really going to stick it to you,
Hold on, do me a favor. Indigenous TV, email me. Like I said, guys, when you super chat, you will receive a postcard. So do me a favor, Indigenous TV, go ahead and email me your address so I can send you a postcard. All right, go ahead.
Yeah, let's say, no, Willie Fligo, why don't you come on, show your face, and debate me? Come on. Be a man, He won't even come on and show his face, whatever like that. Yeah, I'm worried about the damn gas prices. Why? Because that gas price is going to hit $4 a gallon. I'm just pointing it out. I'm saying, look, gas prices at one time, remember about a year ago, Dynas, gas price was down to $180 a gallon. Energy independence, all that stuff like that. I'm talking layman's terms. Now, if gas prices start hitting $4 an hour a gallon, that's a freaking problem. I could afford it. But who wants to pay $4 a gallon when you don't have to? When you got a buffoon, a moron sitting in the White House talking about banning fracking, uprooting the Keystone Pipeline, hates natural gas, which natural gas is actually more cleaner. Nuclear energy is the most safest form of energy in the world, cleanest energy. They don't like nuclear energy. They don't like natural gas, right? They want us all on solar panels and all this kind of freaking foolishness to so-called save the freaking climate. Save the climate just means that the countries that are industrialized don't want the other countries to become industrialized. So that's what that's all about. It's all about keeping black people in Africa,
right,
and everything like that. That's all it is. People don't understand environmentalism and all the stuff that the global elites that you black people follow because you're too stupid to realize what's going on. It's all about keeping you oppressed. Liberals are just as oppressive and racist as conservatives are. They're the same thing. I'm from New York. We had the black community in New York was probably one of the most powerful groups of people in the United States. Self-sufficient, working class. We built New York City. All throughout East Brooklyn, going out to Queens, New York, and everything like that, and Long Island. Probably the highest standard of living of black people on the planet, in the surrounding areas, right? There was thriving black communities. We didn't need liberals and all these other people telling us about. So we used to say, look, what are you talking about? We're taking care of our families. We're paying our bills and everything. But every time we tell, oh, what are we going to do about these black people or not? We got to save you from these races. So we got to let you get a free ride. Well, there's another thing about black people, right? We don't mind giving people a free ride at our expense. You know,
as long as they apologize.
Yeah. You know, I'm so sick of that. Why do we need you? You know, oh, because I like black people. I'm your friend. I'm sick of the so-called white friend. Look at this guy from that guy that owns Twitter, right? He's another one. He's a white man, a billionaire, right? But he's trying to be woke and cool. Now he's doing a deal with Jay-Z. No, asshole. I don't care what you say. You are still a white man with money. Mark Zuckerberg, remember that when he went over there a couple of years ago with his t-shirt on and he was eating jollof rice in Nigeria? You remember that?
Yeah.
Mark Zuckerberg, you are a friggin' white boy, a white man. I don't care how much you try to like this. This is what it is. You got billionaires, white billionaires. Most of the white people that rail against billionaires and everything are billionaires themselves.
Mm-hmm.
But they got black people so stupid that they're any different than Donald Trump or anybody else or anybody else in this country. You're a white person with money, and we're black people with not a lot of money. There's no alliance that we could talk about. There's nothing you could say or nothing you can do. You know, so we bought into this woke culture that we have friends. We got friends in high places and everything, and these people are just as oppressive as anything else. So that's what it is. So like I said, we're not serious about liberation. We're not serious about building anything. We're on their platforms. We're on it. We're using their tools. We're making them rich. Every time we log into Facebook and Twitter, you're making them rich. Every time you type something on Facebook, you're making them rich. Their advertisers and everything are getting rich. You know, every time you order something on Alibaba, Amazon, you're making some Jeff Bezos rich, a trillionaire. He's gonna be a trillionaire. You know, at the same time, we're consuming, right? We don't control any distribution. We don't control anything as a race. How many black people on the planet, Diane? 2 billion black people on the planet. 2 billion black people. We have no communication system among ourselves. We don't control. I thought that the internet will be our breakthrough, right, Dinus? I thought the internet comes along. We're gonna have our own TV studios. I thought we were gonna have all this stuff like this, and I'm saying to myself, how the hell did this happen? You know, we're still in the same position. We haven't risen one bit. You know, I thought we were gonna have all this. It's gonna be a new day. Look at this new technology and everything. I had no idea that we're just so far gone that we just let these people control us. And so that's basically my argument tonight.
Information Man Show. Shout out to you, brother. Do me a favor. Email me your address so I can send you a postcard. Email me your address so I can send you a postcard. Information Man Show. Email me your address so I can send you a postcard. All right, go ahead, Colin.
Okay, now Willie says, college, your generation's fault. I wouldn't blame it totally on my generation. I look at the generation before me. We actually were bought into the idea. On one hand, we had black people who were smart, like John Johnson, right? We need our okay. And then we had this push all the time, right? To basically in Black America that we have to go mainstream. It wasn't enough that we have Ebony Magazine and make that the standard bearer, right? If we didn't get an interview with Time Magazine, if we didn't get an interview in the New York Times or Newsweek and everything, it wasn't legitimate. So therefore, there was a basic undermining this whole thing about integration. Integration means that black people are going to one day live in a multiracial society and everything, multicultural. So racism is going to disappear. Gradually, it's going to disappear and stuff like that. But I tell you this, like I was telling you this afternoon, Dinus, right? Do you see you go to Chinatown, right? What do you see? Chinese magazines, right? They've been there for what, right?
Right.
Did the Chinese give up all their stuff?
No.
No. Why did the Chinese stick with their culture? You know, and the black people, we let our community go.
Right.
You know, and it's like that all over the world. And I say this to my African brothers who come to America, right? I said to myself, how is it that one generation, a lot of people came here in the 90s, right? And in one generation, they completely lost their African culture. They completely use. They sound like.
Hey, Kyle, let me tell you a story. I was here in Atlanta. There's this Senegambian restaurant that I go to, and I remember, and this almost brought tears. It didn't bring tears. Almost brought tears to my eyes. But the kid's mother, you could tell she wanted to cry. So it's a Senegambian restaurant. I mean some jollof rice, some chef gin. So one of the kids come in after school, and mom is like, "Do you want some jollof rice?" She said, "No, I don't want that stuff. I want McDonald's."
Mm.
You could just see her face. Like, I lost my child. She's
Yeah,
now,
yeah.
And like I just looked, I was like, oh man, like I wanted to cry for her. She was like, I don't want that. I want McDonald's. I don't want that. I want McDonald's. I was, oh my God.
And it's a question nobody talked about. I didn't really see it until actually I went over to Liberia, right? And I compared them to the Liberians I meet in America. And I'm saying to myself, wow, staying in Liberia, they keep their culture, they modernize it, and they keep the culture. But the Liberians I meet in America are so far gone, I'm like, no wonder they stay in America. They don't want to get back. No wonder they talk about, remember Donald Trump extended that temporary departure thing, right? They were out there saying, Pepe Trump, whatnot, just to stay in America another year. I'm like, damn, is it that bad? It's like this. We have to understand. It's like, how is it that entire race of people, right? It's just so embarrassing. Entire race of people don't think enough of our culture and who we are to preserve that and be like, hey, look, if I have to leave and go back to Ghana, I'll be all right. I'll be good. If I never come back to the United States, I'll be good. And it's like I said, it's a cultural thing. And I talk to a lot of people from Africa, and they're just trying to make it. I don't know whether it's Black America's fault because they come here and they become like us and everything, and they lose that sense of who they are and everything. I don't know if it's because there's a Black culture in America. I don't know what it is, but it's just this sad part is that nobody's actually serious about building the continent. I'm just dead serious. Everybody talks about it. We could talk all we want. I've not heard all the conversations I'm going to hear. The next step is I want to see this stuff in action. That's the next thing, and it has to happen. It has to be something tangible. It has to be money. It has to be policy. It has to be government policy. And like I told you this afternoon, Diane, I will not accept the fact that when you hear no, it's coming from somebody with black hands. If you say this policy right here could start this project right here and we could do this right here, you mean tell me the only thing that's standing in the way is somebody black signing and putting a signature and it's not happening? No. That's what we got with the white man. Oh, we go there. No, you can't get this, right? No. Have we heard that all our lifetimes? Oh, no.
Right.
That, right? Now you're going to tell me that people come with, so like Bob Johnson, right? That's the reason why he left Liberia. He went over there, invested $10 million in a 4-star hotel. Nice. I was there. Nice.
Yeah.
Right, nice. You've been there, right? You can date, right?
Yeah.
But the bottom line, he gave another $30 million to Liberians, right? As long-term loans. But he said, look, I have big plans for Liberia, right? But they just gave him such a hard time, right? Not being serious, not just hard time, but just not being diligent, not being serious, right? Not having the right people to talk to, not having the right structure in place, right? They said, look, man, this is just a no-go. And he pulled out. So when you do have somebody from America with the means, they come, there's not the structure in the place to make it happen. So he just pulled out and said, hey, it's so lost interest and pull out of Liberia. He went over there. He got the Delta to begin.
Right flight from Atlanta.
Yeah, it's like that. Liberia had no direct flights. He had Delta has a stopover from Ghana, direct flights out of Newark and Atlanta. First it was Atlanta, then it was Newark too. And so
to Liberia?
Yeah.
Newark.
It was the last one was Newark, They added Newark at the end, It was just it was Atlanta first, and then it was Newark. You fly out of Newark, right? It will go to Ghana, and then change over and then go to Liberia.
Okay, so it went to Ghana, then Liberia, Liberia, then Ghana.
It went to Ghana first, and then you got to fly to Liberia.
I thought out of Atlanta, it went direct to Monrovia.
That could have been true. It went to Monrovia, and then Ghana. No, I think it went to Ghana first. Because the flight was all they did was there was already going.
Great African says Bob Johnson's a fraud. Great African, you got to come on here and explain yourself.
Come on.
Great African, you got to come on here and explain yourself. Great African. Nah, you can't make a claim like that and then.
The guy put
Bob Johnson.
He put $40 million into Liberia when the country was war torn. The country was still war torn, and they still had rebels in the field. He took a chance. He said, man, we could build a stock market, everything. He had all the plans, and that's what thing about a lot of Liberian brothers, right? They say stuff like that. And I'm like, dude, man, come on. When somebody takes a chance on you, got to swallow your pride a little bit and be humble, and be like that. Or you're going to keep losing out to countries like Gambia and Ghana and all these countries that really don't have a historic connection to Black America. And so it's like this, who knows? They could have opened up a motion picture production in Monrovia. So much potential could have happened.
Great African. I just sent you the link. I need you to come on and defend that position. So Great African, I just emailed you the link. Come on and defend that position. All right, go ahead, Colin.
Yeah, so what I'm saying is that's exactly what I'm talking about. That's exactly what I'm talking about. I love Great African. That's my brother. I love him. But that's the African mind. If everything's a joke, everything just come on. You got to pull yourself out of the mediocrity. Mediocrity is not good. Sometimes you got to buckle up and say, look, what can we do to get out of this thing? Unless you want to stay in the same position you want to stay in for 20 years. But I'm going to tell you right now, I talk to these young Liberians, right? They're not going to wait another 10 years on y'all playing games. I don't know, Dias. There might be another war in that country.
Don't say that. Don't say that. Don't say that.
Well, we got to put everything on the table, right? Just be aware. There's a lot of anger in there. There's a lot of anger, a lot of resentment. A lot of people they feel walking around that kill people. They seeing people in the streets that kill people, rape people, and stuff like that when they're held in public office and stuff, and there's a lot of anger around. I know that dude, he raped my sister in the war. And they see the same people on Facebook and stuff like that, Just recently, it's a shame it was a Norway, right? And in European countries are now prosecuting ex-rebel leaders in Liberia because there's no mechanism for prosecuting anybody in Africa. Why don't we have our own African criminal court? Why do Europeans got to prosecute in Africa? They're saying that you're just children. You can't govern yourself. We got to cover it. This is what I'm talking about tonight. So I love my people. I love my race enough to tell the truth.
Guys, hit that like button again. Please hit the like button as you come to the chat room. If you'd like to call in, email me, send an email, and I will forward you the link. And you could call in and ask your question, make your statement. You could challenge the caller.
Big up Mike. You see Mike?
What is that?
Not in super chat, Mike.
Mike. Mike.
Yeah, Mike. Yeah, that's what that's
okay. Hey, Mike. So Mike, I owe you a book. So Mike, listen.
Give him everything, man.
Mike, hold on, Mike. Email me your address.
I'll send him a map of Liberia.
And I'm gonna send you a autographed copy of my children's book. Now, Mike, I know you got some kids out there, so you can read the books to your children. So yeah. So shout out to Mike. Eshegon Mike Olawale.
Yeah, man. $99 super. That's what we're talking about. That's helping the cause, man. $99 super chat. We need more of that, bro. That's what I'm talking about.
Dario Sims, email me your address so I can send you a postcard. Again, email me your address so I can send you a postcard, brother. Dario Swin. Oh, goddamn, Crypto Black. Goddamn, excuse my language. Excuse my language.
Crypto Black. you know something? For that crypto, I believe in Bitcoin now. Hey, that's that Bitcoin money, Bitcoin, man. I'm gonna leave him alone. I'm gonna stop messing with him on Bitcoin, man. I know I'm getting on his nerve, man.
Crypto Black, email me your address. I'm sending you a book, autograph copy for your son, and a postcard. So, and he has to autograph the postcards as well. So it's coming. Shout out to Crypto Black for sending me that fiat. Hold on, you Crypto Black. You supposed to send me $100 of Bitcoin.
He said the Bitcoin.
No, I said he's supposed to send me $100 in Bitcoin.
Oh, okay, yeah.
The fiat. He said the fiat is there.
Yo,
Hey, listen. I'm over here complaining over $100.
That's another thing when I'm talking about. How is it that, like I said, when you send your super chats, are you sending in regular dollars or crypto dollars, man? Yo, I'm just messing with you, man. I'm just making I love you, brother.
Crypto Black. Shout out to brother JC. JC, email me your address so I can get you a postcard as well. Yeah, so let's see here. So Great Africa, we're waiting on you, brother. We're waiting on you.
Come on, Great Africa.
He said I'm Lauderdale. Yeah, crypto. You supposed to send that in Bitcoin. You got my wallet address. Oh, no, don't send it that wallet. That wallet. Yeah, crypto, you got my new wallet addresses. But if that crypto, you could have sent it to crypto.com. Shout out to Crypto Black, everybody.
Oh, somebody asked me my book on Amazon. My book is still on Amazon. Journey to
the book, everybody. Good book.
Voyage of the Bark Azor. You got to put Voyage of the Bark Azor by Dwayne McCullough. You know, and you put Journey to the Promised Land, put my name, Dwayne McCullough, not Carl Genesis. You know, that's my nom de plume. And then you can find the book. It's on Amazon. Right. Or you can go to Libris, you know, Ex Libris. Right there. So it's we're doing great things, and the Liberia chapter of the BAO is growing. You know, it grew by like 50 people in the last week. God damn. Liberians are no joke. They see a message and they're like, we like what we're hearing, man. And not only that, man, like I said, Liberia, like I said, about all the people, I haven't been to any place else in Africa, but as far as the Pan-African spirit, right, they see it. They see it. You know, don't let those Liberians on Facebook fool you. You know, Liberians see it. And also what I love about Liberia is they're starting to embrace. I thought when I was going to come there, I'm going to start having to apologize for the Congo people, American Liberians. I thought that I had my apology.
You know, you be out here talking a lot of shit too. So I'm surprised they didn't pull up on the collar.
Yeah, that's what I thought, man. I thought, what? There's college. I had all kinds of stuff in there. So I got there. They were just like, "Welcome home, man. Just welcome home."
Oh, here goes Great African. All right, Great African.
Here we go.
Hey, can y'all hear me at all? I can't. For some reason, man.
We hear you.
Can you hear me?
We hear you.
Hold on, man. I'm trying to get audio.
We can hear you.
Shit.
Yeah, come back in. Come back in, Great African, because you got to explain yourself, Great African. You got to explain yourself.
I'm saying it's game over. No, I'm saying game over. I'm saying that we have to have another playbook and start listening to the people that's actually serious, you know? And like I said, I'm building my social network of serious people, you know? And the bottom line is, hey, look, you know, it's not over. It's never, as long as we have breath in our bodies, it's not going to be over. But we can't just sit there. Like I said, I explained, like I said, when we have opportunity, I don't know, Black people, we're like that, you know? We're never satisfied. Somebody comes up and Bill Cosby. Let's take Bill Cosby, for example, right?
All right.
Now, aren't the Black people always saying, nobody funds Black colleges, right? Mm-hmm. Bill Cosby gave over $70 million. Do you know how much that is?
Right.
The Black colleges over his years. And Black people are like, oh, every time we look around, we got a Jello pudding pot joke, you know?
Right.
We're not serious, you know? We're not serious. We don't have, what's the word I'm trying to say, you know? I don't know. We're just not a serious people. We don't covet things. We don't have things that we cherish with value. You know, because we're scared to be serious. Because when we start being serious, right, we have to take ourselves seriously, and that requires accountability. That counts as reflection. That's why we're the only group of people where comedians could be our main voice.
Mhm.
You know, what do you think about what's going on in black community? Chris Rock. You know,
Oh, hold on. Let me get my charger. Keep going. Like, let me grab my charger.
you know, every time Eddie Murphy. They ask Eddie Murphy, a comedian, all the most important things about Black America. Who they go to for thing? They interview Eddie Murphy. They interview Steve Harvey. They interview all these comedians and people who make their living not being serious. You know, and so therefore, it's I remember I saw this thing. Yeah, 70 million is a lot. 2 nitrous, 70 million. That's a lot of money. You know, that's a lot of money. You know, so like I said, it's not to take anything away from actors and comedians, but we're the only group of people where actors and comedians have to speak for us because nobody wants to hear anybody Black serious. Nobody wants to hear everybody Black serious. Nobody wants to hear anything strong and powerful.
Maxine Waters, I think, interviewed was it Cardi B or Megan Thee Stallion?
Megan Thee Stallion. Yeah. This is what we're talking about. That's exactly what they think of us. You know, right. It's exactly what they think of us. They're telling young girls you got to be Megan Thee Stallion, whatever. That's exactly what I'm talking about. And so we, as a race of people, that's what the problem is. We don't take ourselves seriously, and the world don't take ourselves seriously. Deadly clowns. But what happens, you know, Dinus, when the clown stops being one to be laughed at? A clown is dangerous. You know, a clown is only as funny as he gets tired of being laughed at, and that's what happens. That's why all these.
Yeah, you seen the movie The Joker?
I got to see that. I heard that ties into my deadly clown theory.
Yeah. He got tired of being laughed at.
That's tired of being laughed at.
You should see how it ended up. How that played out.
Of course. Like I said, deadly clowns, you know? And that's what we have in Black America. That's why we're flipping out. That's why we're killing each other. Every day, every time they like Norfolk, Virginia set a record. 5 murders in 3 days.
Hey, this past week, I mean, you posted this past weekend here in Atlanta with 12 people shot.
Yeah. Lord have mercy.
But Georgia's blue. Is blue.
Georgia is a Black Mecca. I mean, Atlanta's a Black Mecca, you know? Come on, Kyler, come down to Atlanta, man. It's a Black Mecca. Get the fuck out of here, you know? The Black Mecca, you know? I'm like, ugh. Nah, I think I had enough of that, you know? The Black Mecca, you know? So this is what it is, man. This is what it is. We, as a race of people, man, like I said, we're the world's entertainment. We're the world's laughing stock, you know? And people didn't know how the Black Panther was going to turn out, remember? Because people like, serious role, Black Panther and everything. And that turned out to be, instead of us building on that, right? T'Challa, Wakanda, and everything like that. Is let's make other characters. You don't have to all be about Black Panther, right? I figured that would be the new standard, you know, of movie making in Black America. You know, a serious character and stuff like that. You know, it's not happening. People are just basically saying, okay, you had your T'Challa, you had your Black Panther, Killmonger. I think the most intriguing character was Killmonger. Because that was the first time I seen somebody Black in a movie who basically believed in something besides money, bling, and booty. You know? Think about it. He was like, yo, I did all this because just to kill you. I mean, when I saw that in the movie, I was blown away. Because all the Black characters, all we're trying to get is the bag.
All right.
We're trying to get the booty. You know, that's all we're going to get. That's all we're trade as. You know, so it's just what the hell is going on, you know? So when we start putting this Pan-African stuff out there, we have to come across as serious. And we have to be serious, have to hold people accountable seriously. You know, I don't, some people, they say a lot of stuff and everything, but you know, it is what it is. You know, I thought we're having a great African.
Hey, Kanye West got the Marcus Garvey Award. What are you guys talking about? I don't know anything about that.
You know, Kanye West, Marcus Garvey. I don't know. I want to see Winston Duke play Marcus Garvey. I definitely want to see that.
Hold on, great African. Stop stalling, great African. Stop stalling. You need to come on. Yeah. Stop stalling. He said he has technical issues. Stop stalling, great African.
And he's not even in Africa. He's in Minnesota right now. Come on, great African. You know?
Guys, hit that like button. Please hit the like button. Also, too, if you want to join us in Sierra Leone, April 19th to the 29th.
Let me ask you a question. Somebody said Black Panther was a representative integration. Where do you get that from? Integration. They're in their own kingdom, Wakanda. He wanted to live in peace with the world by being a recluse. How's that integration? He didn't want Wakanda to be known to the outside world. He didn't want the world to be known by vibranium. So how's that integration? Where do people will do anything to discredit anything that's black, you know, and positive? That's what I'm talking about. You know, what is Kyle Jensen's book, and what's also the Kyle Jensen's book is called The Journey to the Promised Land. Matter of fact, people are putting that on Facebook today about the Exodus of 1878. Somebody put an article up, right? I'm reposted. You seen that, Dice? The Exodus of Charleston, South Carolina, Black History Month of Charleston, South Carolina. It's a history. This book right here, right? I researched this, right? I found about this story 10 years ago, right? And I began my research. I said, I'm going to fictional. I talked about how stories not being told. This was like the biggest event in Black history. You know, the Exodus of 1878 from Charleston, South Carolina, among the Barker Azores ship to Liberia. And what made this unique and among all the voyages to Liberia was this was completely financed, funded, and built by Black people. They said they had a 100-year plan of depopulating the United States with Black people, and they wanted to build colonies in Liberia, Nigeria, the Congo, all around the coast of Africa. They're going to build settlements, right? And take Africa back and then drive the Europeans out of Africa. This was supposed to be the start of a revolution. It never happened. The Garvey movement picked up where this left off, right? But it never happened, you know? And we're still saying the Exodus is coming. One day the Exodus is coming. So you can do Negro stalling tactics all you want, whatnot. It's coming. You know, not all of us.
Hey, Richmond, you got, I don't know which country's ISK as far as your the money you sent, but email me your address. I send postcards internationally. Okay, we will ship international. So send me email me your address and we'll get you a postcard. You too, K Tafari. You too.
Yeah, somebody said JC said Liberian government is not taking advantage. But yeah, there's a huge potential, but I don't think, like I said, you got to understand something about the African mind, the way it works. I mean, insulting everything. They don't think like that, you know. Now there's Liberian tourist companies. I saw this one. I didn't get a chance to go. I didn't find out till after I got back. This hotel is one of the best hotels I've ever seen. They have the pools. They got everything. They're right there on the lagoon and everything. It's like a paradise, right? Liberia is like a paradise. There's so many resorts there. It's like a paradise, right? But how to market that to Black America when you got so many Liberians always talking about the history, overcoming people and everything. And whenever people tell me all the time when I was there, they said, we're glad you guys came here. We're glad. We're proud of that history. We have a connection to Black America. They love Black America, you know? Don't let these fools on the internet fool you. All these like that. Liberia loves Black. They love that connection. They're at peace with their history. They made peace with their history. You know, say, yeah, things didn't go like that. But the bottom line is they're glad they have a free country. You know, they have a free country that they could boast about and everything. All they need is capital and investment. You know, and just basically recognition.
Kala, show your book again, Kala.
All right.
Guys, go buy a copy of that. In fact, Colin, what we're gonna do, man, sometime this week we'll do a review of the book and also go and tell the history of the book.
Yeah, and like I said, it's an important part of history because just like the Exodus, the Kansas Exodus, why we don't know these stories?
Kansas Exodus.
Oh yeah, the Exodus of Kansas, right? When there's some people want to go to Liberia, but it was just so expensive, right? Then Black people said, "Let's go to Kansas." There was an Exodus to Kansas, you know. They found a place called Nicodemus, right? Mm-hmm. People don't realize that there was also a Liberia in Mexico. Yeah. Baja California. You know, they called it Little Liberia, you know, and Baja California. Why? Right. Because of Liberia fever. Liberia just means free land, where the free people are. And the idea of liberty, Black people having liberty and freedom, you know, and that liberty and freedom, right? You know, when we're living under white domination, and we don't feel that. You know, the idea that we could live among ourselves and govern ourselves and take care of ourselves and provide for ourselves and everything is something that we as Black people in America don't understand. You know, I mean, it's all right to, and then, like I said, the bottom is falling out on us in America, right? Because we know we're not free. No matter how much money you make, now how much the standard of living you have and everything. Yeah, there's a Liberia in Costa Rica too, same thing. You know, Liberia, Costa Rica. There was a Liberia in Connecticut, right? People don't realize that. You know, so the bottom line, this idea of Liberia is free, land of the free. Land of the free. That's all it means. You know, it was just so because if the United States government really, yeah, there's a Liberia in Florida, there's a Liberia in Virginia, not Liberia town, but we have like Liberia Street, Liberia Monrovia Lane, and stuff like that. So basically, the idea of Liberia, the whole idea of Liberia was Liberia fever dominated Black America. I'll say all the way up until like the 1950s. In 1950s, we gave up on that, right, and start focusing on America and America just because of movies and culture and everything. So we gave up on Liberia fever. But you go to Florida and places like that, the idea of an exodus or some sort of repatriation, and Little Liberia in Tennessee, I never heard of that, you know? So that's basically what I'm talking about. You know, once we learn our real history and stuff like that, then we can move forward in what we're trying to do and everything. Like I said, that's what I'm talking about. What happened to Great African? I thought he was calling in, you know.
I don't know. He said he's having technical difficulties, but okay, here we go. Great African.
Right, here we go.
Great African. Great African.
Hey, what's up, gentlemen?
What's going on?
Can you hear us?
Having a little technical difficulties.
Please stand by. Remember, please stand by.
Hey, all right, man. Kala, welcome back. You look 10 years younger. You need to go to Liberia more. Something in the water.
Take the beard off, you know.
Yeah. Oh, is that what it is? No,
yeah,
I think
my beard got so gray. I said, I gotta take this thing off, man. When I was over there, I just got white, man. I was like, God damn. I was older than I was. I was like, God damn, my beard got completely white. I had no black left. You know, so I just shaved it off, man. So I'll just grow back in, you know.
Oh, yeah, but hey, it's the sun. It's dry season.
Yeah. Oh man, yeah. I was baking out this sun, bro. You know,
Yeah.
I had a good time, man. I had a ball. I like I said, man, I was treated like a friggin' king. You know, I was like treated like a king. I mean, the respect I got, you know, first time in my life, man, I knew it was like to be. First of all, I felt like a human being, you know, and
Right.
second of all, the respect I got, you know, it's like, God, they thought I was some big diplomat or something like that, you know.
But
People-
you are, man. Look,
People were telling me, I said, yeah, they know all about you and whatnot, you know, and and if I had trouble or whatnot, they say, yo, man, motherfuckers will kill somebody over you right now. I'm like, nah, let's not go there. No, man. Anybody mess with you, man, they're gonna die. I'm like, damn. I said, I ain't all, you know, like no, man, Colin, you know, say, man, we're so glad you're here and whatnot, you know. Everybody's like, you know, everybody was talking about you, man. You know, I was going places. And I met people. Remember, I was doing the show with you, Dynas, that day from thing, and I had my dashiki on.
Right.
There was a guy over listening to the show in the restaurant, right? And he said, "Oh, you're Kala?" I said, "Yeah." He goes, "I heard about you." You know, he goes, "Yeah." He heard about you. He said, "Yeah." He goes, "Yeah, I heard about your book." You know, and I was like, "Okay, yeah." So we exchanged information. I was like meeting so many people that heard about my book and stuff like that, and they was like, "Yeah, you know, this and the other thing." You know, it was just like unbelievable, man. I felt like, sir. As a matter of fact, I did a thing on a Liberian television network. It's supposed to be coming out this week. You know, I went to a restaurant and I told about why I'm there, talking about my book. And they fed me this food, right? I tasted Liberian food, right? I already tasted, but I knew I was tasting, but there was like they gave me this food, like 3 types of rice, chicken, collard greens, right? I have never seen collard greens this green before. Liberian collard greens look like spinach. They're so green.
it's the best.
You know?
Dude, Liberian collard green is the best collard greens, okay?
Yeah,
I'll just tell you
for
this.
the God, I was eating spinach.
It's I actually entered a competition here, you know, in a category. I made some Liberian collard greens, and hands down, I won the competition. You know, so I made some statement before that Dinah said I should defend.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, you got to defend that. But okay, so in Sierra Leone, the collard greens are called stew green.
Stew green.
Yeah, it's familiar. It's similar to. It's called stew green.
Okay.
It's so good. Oh, so good. So
like Sierra Leone and Liberia have very similar cuisine. Very, very similar. I mean, I don't know if there's really a difference between how they make their collard greens, but if you've never had Liberian style collard greens, anybody listening, try it out. It's the best collard green you ever had. And we got more than collard greens. We got potato greens. We got chicken greens. We got sour leaves. We have about 5, 6, 7 different type of greens.
Tell them about the palm oil butter. Have you ever had palm oil?
Palm butter.
Oh yeah.
It turns out fried with potatoes in it. Have you ever fried? Yo, I'm telling you, my lady cooked that for me with sauteed onions, with fried fish and palm butter. Yo, I'm telling you right now, I feel like getting on a plane right now, going to Liberia, for that shit. Because I don't understand why there's no palm butter oil in America I can go get. I want to know why that is. That's a crime right there.
You can get it. You go to the African store, you can get it. It's in a can though, it's not fresh, But you can still try to duplicate it.
It's so spicy. Love it, man. I love it.
Yeah. So why did I say Bob Johnson was a fraud? It's just based on I shouldn't say he's a complete fraud, but what happened around the time when the war was over and he engaged Liberia, Ellen Johnson Sirleaf embraced him.
No, she did. I don't think she really embraced him. Like I said.
Let me
finish, Colin. Let me finish.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm just telling you from my perspective. You know what I mean? That you can come in. So what it is basically is this: Overseas Private Investment Corporation, OPIC. He was able to get a grant or a loan for something like $30 to $35 million. And that was with the intention that he would administer the funds for, Liberians who want to go into business. Okay. But that was never, I tried to connect with them to try and get for my business and everything like that. There was just no way to even go in and apply and, get evaluated. So that's the reason I say it's a fraud. It's like he did something for himself. He set it up. He had this nice thing. $30 to $35 million was given as a loan, and then poof, he disappeared.
Yeah, but let me say this in all the fairness to Bob. And I'm a fan of Bob Johnson's. I've been calling him a coon, always like that. Then when he did that, I said, oh yeah, I was like that. I like that. I never liked Bob Johnson. I never liked BT. I never liked any of that. Bob Johnson's a businessman, right? The problem with Bob Johnson, I remember he basically started with Liberia with the Clinton Global Initiative, right?
Right.
Now, there's nothing stopping you, me, Dynas, and everything from getting with OPIC. OPIC is called something else now. It's not called OPIC anymore.
Okay, well, that's what it was back then. But OPIC, as you know about OPIC, okay,
I know about OPIC. We as black people, Pan-Africanists, right? There's a lot of us right here that call us something. But we don't. There's millions of dollars, right, on the table. And I looked at the OPIC breakdown, right? Good. Most of the people who get this money to invest in Africa are white businesses, white NGOs, Lebanese, everything like that. Why? Because we as black people don't take the time, right, to get serious. There's money the U.S. government set aside.
The thing with OPIC is this: it's for American-owned businesses who want to expand overseas.
Right.
Not just Africa. So the first criteria is you got to be an American business, right? Yeah. So of course, Bob Johnson has a track record in the hospitality industry, so he automatically qualifies because he has years and years and years of experience. So getting $30 million, $35 million is nothing as far as getting underwritten to get that money. For me personally, maybe I don't know about you and Dynas, but if you and I go there, okay, so there, it's a little bit more difficult for us.
Now, it depends. To qualify. Oh, it depends, right? Now, if you had a business, I know some people that got OPIC money, but they're part of something else, right? They want to do a smaller project. Right. You want $30 million. Of course, none of us qualify for that. But if let's say you really had like a farming project and you needed some equipment, like that.
Which
Small.
I do, and the criteria for that,
You can do that.
is they want to see 3 years of operations. I mean, I understand. I think reasonable enough what the underwriting criteria is. I'm a banker. I understand how you qualify for something. You know
Now,
what I
do
mean?
you have somebody? Do you have somebody that could write the grant loan? You got a lawyer or somebody that can actually write the loan?
They do have some OPIC brokers, right? Brokers that they get a commission off of anything that you get, any loan that you get. So there are some brokers out there. But for what I'm focused on, it's not really like an OPIC type project that's easily funded, because you got to have, for agriculture is considered too risky, right? But maybe, for example, if you decide, Colin, to go into broadcasting or something like that, you might be able to get something to be able to open up some social media outfits, right? Diners may be able to qualify for getting loans.
About to build
for
a television. Let me say this: the television studio in Liberia. When I know that's where the money came from, but because I couldn't make it on the radio. I was supposed to be on his radio show, right? But I don't think he made the Liberia at the same time I did, right? And then he told me in July he's going to have he's already have the building and everything. He's going to have a Liberian television station, and gave him the money for it and everything. I guess it was OPIC. I don't know. He got investors, whatever.
Yeah.
He's going to build
it. So most of the OPIC fundings that it's a profitable is not something that the government puts money into, because they're fully funded on their own, right? So it's a lot of red tape, and you do need some hand holding to get financing through them. So that's my whole thing is, hey, we're going to give you $30 million. We want you to administer this loan program. And then you guys can decide which businesses get the loan. So for me, the $30 million, where's the businesses that actually got the loans? That's my issue.
There was some Liberians who got the money. Some Liberians.
I kind of want to hear Brigade African finish.
Yeah,
go ahead.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
So what I'm saying is, to me, okay, being a geek, but also being very street smart, I think that was like an easy money for Bob Johnson to get. And he used the Liberian situation to make a story that looked nice, to get some money, and then he put up a little hotel. It didn't cost $10 million to build that hotel. I mean, it's just a regular stuff. What was that?
It was $8 million. It was $8 million.
Yeah, whatever it is, it was highly padded, because it's nice, but it's not.
Yeah, it's not even. Got a point there. Like how many rooms is that hotel? Because I've been.
There's a lot of bungalows. I think it's like 20 different bungalow rooms. Like
that's not an $8 million hotel.
No.
Well, that's what
I'm just saying. For me,
I'm not pocket watching. I could be wrong, but that just does not seem like an $8 million hotel.
This is what I'm saying. This is what we call poverty pimping.
Well, he had to pay.
So, Kyle, I'm with you on a lot of things, but Bob Johnson is not he's a poverty pimp.
Oh, no. What I'm saying this though. What I'm saying, this is what I'm saying, right? Okay, we could have used the momentum of Bob Johnson, right? Instead of us sitting back, right? We could have used the momentum of Bob Johnson. Okay, we got Delta there and everything, and people could have came after him and said, okay, because of Bob Johnson. Look at this, the Farmington Hotel was built. The Royal Palms was built, right? This is before Bob Johnson was the only one that took a risk that said Liberia has potential. And then all these other people came. You have to admit that.
They came. Listen, Bob Johnson got house money to go into Liberia. Let's just look at it for what it is. I mean, we don't need to create heroes, for us to get into business in Liberia. Bob Johnson is not a hero.
Yeah, he
was a pioneer who basically poverty pimped. Liberia was coming out of a war. Okay, everybody was scared to get in. He wrote a nice story, got $35 million, and how it was spent, nobody knows. Okay, and then he had a nice exit strategy. That was a cutthroat, American style business.
You got to admit.
It's like Trump,
you're breaking up.
Can you hear me okay?
I hear you fine.
You have to admit, right? Well,
go Go ahead. And then we got Jay Line on here too. But go ahead, caller. Then Jay Line, you next. Go ahead, caller.
Okay, what I'm saying is you have to admit, right, while other black people, you had Eugene Jackson, right, who went to South Africa, right, built this thing in Durban and Pretoria farms and everything like that, right, around the same time, about a few years earlier in South Africa. You had the African Venture Partners there in South Africa. South Africa has a world-class infrastructure, okay? The fact that he took a chance on this country because he said, this country, we have the first 5 presidents were black people from America. He said we have a connection here. We basically could make this like another thing. You have to look at that. See, people throw out the baby with the bathwater. You know?
No, listen. For Bob Johnson, okay.
It's not about Bob Johnson. That's
Let the man finish. I want to hear the man. I just want to go ahead.
So listen, if we're going to look at examples of success stories, let's look at real examples of success stories where people are doing things on the grassroots level that are not really being recognized. We don't need to create false idols in people like Bob Johnson, who is, hey, he's an excellent business person. He did his hustle in Liberia and got paid, okay? And then he exited, he did his exit strategy. But to come in and say that, Colin, for you to come in and say that, oh yeah, you know, the Liberians weren't cooperating. He was given a cultural center, okay? Kinderjai was like a cultural center where people have live performances. He basically got the cultural center.
Let me stop you right there. That area of Kinderjai, right? Do you know during the war it was used as a killing field? There was dead bodies laid there and whatnot. You know,
yes, but bro, that's the whole country was a killing.
I know, but I'm saying is, if it was such a sacred area, then why didn't they preserve it? You know, why didn't they preserve it?
Bro, it was war. Nothing was sacred. People were murdered in hospitals.
Even when there was no war, people
massacred in churches.
Pissing on the ground, shitting on the ground, everything like it was.
Of course,
come in, shit and piss, man. Come on,
bro. But at the end of the day, okay, it was pre-war. That was a culture center. You understand what I'm saying? But so there was some controversy. There was some controversy. Listen, bro. There was controversy around the fact the president took some heat for giving that to Bob Johnson because certain people like the culture dancers and all of that stuff, pre-war. I'm not saying during the war. The whole country was a killing field during the war.
Let me say, Great Africa. You know who you're talking to, man. There wasn't no Kinderjai stuff since the 1980s, man. 20 years have passed by, and nobody was doing nothing.
The war started in 1989.
No, all that stuff.
The war started in 1989.
You know, so
the whole country wasn't the same.
But basically, it's like this. And also, it was actually Tolbert who built that thing as a tribute to,
of course,
like that.
Tolbert is one of my favorite presidents.
It was Tolbert who built it and said we're going to have the Kinderjai as a place. It's not a sacred ground. It's just a place.
I'm not saying, like bro, that, you know? it's sacred ground.
It's not sacred. It's not sacred. It's not sacred.
Bro,
you know? Stop using words like sacred.
It's something that, okay, listen. All right, you want to call it sacred ground? Bottom line is, it was a cultural center. It was a cultural center that you had different performances that used to go on there.
Right.
Okay.
And also,
culturally,
illegal
in Liberian culture, Kinderjai was very, very important.
Yeah, but it was so important. It was so important. You could still, check this out. I was over there, right? You still got the whole area of Kinderjai, right? It's huge, right? There's a whole big path you got to take to get to the back, right? All that land is there and it's full of trash and everything. You could take that whole land and build another Kinderjai, which they actually did. They said they want to build another thing on the side of it. But you guys don't want that. All you want to do is make a thing of Bob Johnson built a hotel.
Bro,
so your argument
let me tell you something, bro. Bob Johnson is a straight up hustler, okay? I mean, nothing you can do to pretty that up. And I already laid out why. Okay. So if you want to blind,
you gave half truth. You didn't tell the whole truth.
Oh, I told the truth as far as
you told $30 million in the Liberian.
What you said was a half truth, bro.
If you guys couldn't get
what you said
and stuff like that, then that's up to you. He put the money in the country.
Listen, Bob Johnson is a hustler, okay, and he didn't do anything. He came in, hustled, got paid, and left. That's fine.
He actually lost money on that hotel. So how is he a hustler?
Bro, Is he that bad of an
because
investor to build
he
something
went
that
in,
shouldn't be more than
he went in there
$700,000?
with the
That's
assumption.
that
He went
thing
in,
that
he
he
went in
built,
there.
bro.
No, look, check this out.
He
He went
took
in
$1
there with
million.
the assumption. He went in there with the
He took
assumption that they were going to be business people. He said we're going to bring bankers here and everything, and the Liberians, whatever like that, whatever it was. The Roberts Airport, right, wasn't up to par one night. That's what Delta canceled the thing, right?
Yeah.
They didn't do all the things that they said they were going to do, get the airport up and running and everything, and the infrastructure and
It is
everything,
now.
the power. I went to Kendaja one night, and half the day in Kendaja, they can't turn the electricity on. They said electricity goes off at 4 o'clock. You know, this infrastructure project, he couldn't handle that. So don't blame it all
So
on
he
him,
knew
man.
that. He knew that going in.
You know what I'm saying? So what I'm saying is he took a risk. He didn't have to go there. He could went to Ghana.
Bro, he would have went to Ghana, but he couldn't get $35 million to do what he did
He
in,
could have went
like,
to Ghana.
in
And like
Ghana.
I said, you guys are so ungrateful and everything like that. That's why people are like,
Why would I be,
what the fuck's the problem? You ain't serious about building nothing. Come on.
bro? Where you and I part ways on this is where you blindly look. You don't look at things from a critical
I look at
mind.
it real.
You're not looking at it critically.
Let me tell you something. I was staying at the Farmington Hotel, right? That's the best hotel in Liberia. I love to stay there. I mean, that was like,
Farmington is nice, and that was another crooked
all right,
deal.
that's the best hotel.
Let me tell you this.
Lebanese. Owned by Lebanese.
It's owned by Lebanese, and you know what? You know what happened with that?
You want to hear something, right? I changed my opinion about the Lebanese in Liberia.
Bro, let me just say this. You got a nice Farmington.
I believe they're doing good in Liberia. Because that's the mentality. I bet you anything, if Bob Johnson would have hooked up with the Lebanese and the Indians there and some people in there, he would have been more successful. But he went there trying to deal with you Negroes. And that's what happened.
Bro, see, you don't even know what the fuck you're talking about, Kala. Straight up.
Talking about, man.
You don't.
You know what I'm
talking
true.
You sucking some Lebanese dick right now, Kala. Get the Lebanese dick out your fucking mouth.
I'm just saying.
Okay.
No, I'm not sucking Lebanese
straight
dick.
up.
I'm just saying.
Because you know what? Yeah, you sucking some Lebanese dick. You stayed at the Farmington Hotel. You don't know. You don't even know. You don't even know.
All I know is that hotel
is nice. You don't know
that
shit.
Farmington Hotel is nice, right there on the river, man. Nice.
Right, but do you know that? Do you know that the corruption that went into putting that up? Do you know that they got a fucking 30-year deal with no taxes?
Here we go.
No tax. They don't pay tax for 30 years.
You know what I'm saying?
And you sucking the dick. They're not paying taxes for 30. That's exploitation.
But who was employed there? All Liberians. All Liberians are making money there, getting employed there.
Bro, people, yeah, like, okay, so you're talking about some basic jobs. Wonderful, we got jobs, but the bottom line is, why would you disparage those Liberians that are working hard? Those guys Lebanese are doing good. Okay,
so
you have a war-torn country.
Bro, that's pride. That's pride.
You have a war-torn country.
Yeah, hold up, that's pride.
You got some Lebanese with a 30-year tax exempt.
But
30 years, they don't pay tax for 30 years.
Let me ask you a question. Who destroyed the country? Who brought the war there?
Bro, do you know the geopolitical
the war just came out of space?
Do you want me to go into the history of what the war that
all we know the country was destroyed, and people are trying to build, and you're sitting there trying to disparage.
Listen, what happened in Liberia? Okay, that we had a civil war. Do you know the reason we had a civil war?
You know what a civil war is? That was not a civil war.
Okay. All right, just shut up for a minute. Let me school you on what Liberia was.
That was just a breakdown of anarchy and chaos.
Right, because let me tell you this. Okay, you don't know what you're talking about, bro. I do know what I'm talking about. But you don't know what the fuck you're talking about as it relates to Liberia. To be real, because see, that's the problem.
We got. Let's watch the language. Let's not be disrespectful.
We don't have to curse.
All right, sorry about it. Let me just say this because he's talking a lot of nonsense.
Okay, well,
I'm gonna watch the language. But let me just say this. What do you want me to address first? The war in Liberia and what caused it?
We already know all that, man. We heard all the stories.
You don't sound like you do.
We know all, bro. We know all that. You know.
You don't know it. You don't. You don't. You have a biased opinion.
You would sit back.
You have a biased opinion.
You know, and talk about this, that, and the other thing. Then when somebody comes up and says, "Let's do this," one that you want to have smoke for them too. It's like, damn, what do you want,
bro?
And I got I talked to Liberian. I got a lot of Liberians in the association and everything like that We're just
I'm in
saying
your
we're trying to build.
association, but I'm gonna call you out when you're wrong, though.
We're trying to build on
You
the
know what I'm
ground
saying?
and everything.
Hey,
They don't want to hear
hey,
all this, man.
here's the
They're
thing.
trying to
That's
build
one thing you
something.
gotta know about me. Okay. I like some of what you're doing. I join your association, but when you off, I'm gonna call you out. Okay. Bottom line.
Hold on. Nobody's sitting there defending Bob Johnson, but what I'm trying
Okay,
to say,
Yes,
let's
you are.
let's do this. Okay,
Bob Johnson, when you get the
listen, we gotta have order here.
You were just glowing. You were giving.
Let's get off Bob Johnson. Okay, now we're on the Civil War. Okay,
Right.
don't interrupt, Colin. You're gonna have your chance to speak.
all right.
Go ahead, Great African.
Okay.
Civil War.
Civil War in Liberia. Okay. This is okay. The reason why you had Civil War in Liberia. Okay. A lot of it, people say, "Oh yeah, this is America, Liberia, and this, that, and the other." Okay. In the first place, there would not be a coup in Liberia. Okay, if it wasn't for number one, Talbert was the president of the OAU. Okay, all of Africa. Under his leadership, okay, he believed that the Palestinians had a right to self-determination. Okay, he said so as much. And then he, as part of the policy that Africans had, they cut off diplomatic relations with Israel because of Israel's relationship with apartheid South Africa. You understand that? And then the ANC, the African National Congress, they actually traveled on Liberian passports. So Talbert was my favorite president. Why? Because he was an undercover radical. The CIA already knew all of these things that they were doing. Do you understand what I'm saying? They exploited the fact that you had some internal wranglings, okay, between the so-called natives and the American Liberians. You had that. So they exploited that. They took a semi-literate master sergeant, 17 enlisted guys. These were like
semi-literate, illiterate.
Yeah, right. And then somehow you want me to believe, you expect me to believe that these 17 guys somehow were able to overthrow an entire government on their own. Okay. The reason that they gave the coup, they couldn't even read why they had the coup. Do you understand that? Okay. That was a straight up CIA operation. Talbert's late wife actually said a white man killed her husband. Okay. So these are things that happen. So it's easy for us to all look at it and say, oh yeah, the country was just great, and then these natives got uprising. You answer your question.
That was illiterate. That was semi-literate. That guy was illiterate.
Calling me illiterate.
Okay, but I'm sorry. Go ahead.
You can look at the YouTube. You can look at the YouTube thing when he was reading the reason they had the coup, right? That's why I said semi-literate, because he was like literally pointing at the words. Okay. So now what happened when Doe took over? So they got rid of Talbert. Okay. They murdered him. And then they put these guys in charge. Okay. But what people like Kala want to do is they want to come in and say, oh yeah, we had such a beautiful country, and then these natives overran it and killed everybody. And that's what it is. That's a very simplistic view of reality. Okay. The reality of it is that you had the Civil War, you had the Cold War. Okay. When the Berlin Wall fell in 1989. Okay. The Civil War in Liberia was launched Christmas Eve, 1989. Okay. Doe, between 1980 and 1985, okay, Doe received more aid from the United States, okay, than all of Sub-Saharan Africa combined. Okay. Why? Because what did he do? He reestablished diplomatic relations with Israel. Okay. He renounced Muammar Gaddafi. Okay. And not only that, he put in policies where Liberia, like the Omega satellite navigation system, one of 8 in the world, that guy's ballistic submarine missiles, Doe was cool with that. You understand what I mean? He completely reversed what Talbert was trying to do because he was a puppet of the United States. Okay?
Can I get in here now? Let him
finish.
Okay, he's going on, man.
Let him finish, Colin.
So these are all things. These are all facts that I'm laying out here. Okay, so to say that, okay, to say that, you know, we had a great country and it was destroyed by natives and all that. So now let's do this, okay? As far as the Civil War itself, okay, what happened? Dole fell out with Kuyukpa. You understand? This is where it becomes tribal. Kuyukpa's from Nimba, Dole's from Grand Jita. Okay, so that conflict between Dole and Kuyukpa, between the whole Nimba County, Grand Jita, the Madingos on that side, and then the you know, the Manos and Gils on this side, the Krans. So these are all things that happen. You understand? So, and these are things that I live. This is the reason why you have so many Liberians here in the States. So even earlier when you were talking about, yeah, you know, they're here, and the bottom line here is, bro, we're here because this is where the jobs are. Okay, some of us are doing things back home trying to make a transition. Okay, so if we're talking about Pan-Africanism, let's talk about Pan-Africanism with some economics behind it. Let's come up with an economic strategy on how we're going to engage the African continent.
All right.
Can
I reply now?
Go ahead. I'll shut up for a minute.
Well, like, let me say something first off, man. You guys better decide: are you going to be Pan-Africanist, right, or are you going to keep this tribalist shit up? You know.
You know what? Hold on.
There's
you're tribal. You're tribalist. You know what you are?
I'm not tribalistic. You know,
you're tribalist.
I don't.
You know what you're tribalist?
I don't care.
You're tribalist.
Look, I don't give a shit about no African American, none of that shit like that. You know, I care about the truth and getting progress.
I care about the truth too.
No, you don't. No, you don't, because you just got through rambling for like 10 minutes about.
But you weren't listening.
You know what I'm saying? I listen to everything.
Anything I say.
I heard this story so many times, man. What you're trying to do is genuflect. You know, I was down when I drove in Liberia, and I went down Redemption Road, right? And my driver, right, was sitting right next to me, right? And we're driving down Redemption Road, and he kind of knew, and I kind of knew what exactly I was going to see, right? And so he kind of looked over at me, right? And he knew what I was looking at, and he knew what I was looking at, right? And on Redemption Road, right, that's where the so-called natives had their redemption. I mean, how do you be redemption from destroying a black republic? So they had their redemption and whatnot. They had their redemption. That's the filthiest place I've ever seen in my freaking life. You know, redemption this, redemption that. They're still celebrating on the execution of those men on the beach right there, South Beach right there. That place is so full of trash, kids playing.
It's full of garbage. Yeah, it's not a clean. Like you're talking about somewhere in West
never
Point.
Take any responsibility for the fact that after the so-called Tober was executed, right, murdered, right, days later you executed all those men who did nothing. You know, and you
that was your
that.
government. That was your government. The government of the United States executed those people.
You guys celebrate that to this day. You know. You go around the world and you want sympathy and pity. You're not getting it from me. You know.
I don't need sympathy from you, bro.
You guys are the only group of people.
The day I need sympathy from anybody.
You guys are the only group of people that basically declared war on another black race. And then you know what Doe said? Doe said the main reason for the coup was Tober was disobeying America. He didn't even have any idea. He thought America was Liberia's master. That's what you guys with the coup.
That's who brought him.
You know what I'm saying? So
your tax dollars
you guys celebrated him. You guys named the stadium after him.
He built the stadium.
He didn't know that stadium was built in 1976.
He built the stadium after himself.
That stadium was built in 1976. It was supposed to be for the Ali Foreman fight, but it was built in 76 by the Chinese. And then you guys named it after him when it was complete.
He named it after himself.
So you guys celebrate Samuel Doe. You got the Samuel Doe Road and whatnot. You guys celebrate Samuel Doe. You celebrate the coup. You celebrate the murder of those people and whatnot. And you're gonna sit here and tell me about, oh well, the coup was we had no responsibility, like we're stupid.
Bro,
no, take some freaking responsibility,
bro. Some people got killed on the beach, but 250,000 Liberians died. Is their life not important? Their life is not important.
You know what I'm saying?
250,000 people died, and you crying about some people that were executed on the beach.
Say this. Oh, you wanted revenge because they built the republic. Where you hated them, you were jealous of them, so you killed them.
See, this is the bias. This is the bias that you're having. Right?
It's my turn to talk. You told like this. I'm going to ask you a question. If you were so oppressed, Why did the Liberian government put most of the native people in the military? Why were you guys in the military if you were so oppressed?
Do you know what the military was at that time in Liberia?
You the military overthrew the government. You guys rounded up people.
The military was a joke.
They'll say the military was a joke. They had guns.
The military was a joke. You know why it was a joke? You know why it was a joke?
It was a joke now.
It was a joke.
Come on, bro.
Because during the rights riots, they had to bring in troops from Guinea to protect Togo.
Check this out. You want to take no responsibility for that. Just say, yeah, we fucked up. Historically fucked up. 40 years. 41 years.
Carla, you don't know.
You had 41 years to show what you can do.
You need to be re-educated about Liberia.
You have 41 years to show what you can do.
Hey, you're a tribalist.
And you want to talk about Bob Johnson? Come on.
Boo. Did I say anything that was not true? Everything I said about Bob Johnson is a fact. You fantasizing about Bob Johnson. You're making Bob Johnson out to be a hero, and I'm telling you that he's not.
What about
and I laid out why.
Hold on. What about NoCal? What about all the freaking fraud you guys did, thinking you were gonna get oil and whatnot, and all these Liberians out there frauding people out of oil investments, what never happened and whatnot? How come you don't talk about that?
We can talk about that too.
You
were talking about Bob Johnson. You were talking about Bob Johnson in glowing terms. You were talking about Bob Johnson in glowing terms.
What about that?
You were saying you made Bob Johnson out to be some kind of a hero, and I say he's zero. He's nothing. He's a hustler. He's a two-bit hustler. Okay.
What about that Ponzi scheme down in Buchanan where they were making wood chips or whatever like that fell apart and whatnot? You know, you guys.
Yeah, that was another American company.
I'm saying so you guys don't want to talk about that, but you want to talk about a
black man. About that?
Okay, hold on, but you guys want to talk about a black
I'm telling
man
you,
who took his money and invested in your black asses over there and whatnot.
Renewables? You're talking about Buchanan Renewable Energies.
Yeah.
I'm not a fan of them.
You guys don't talk about that. You guys don't want to talk about that.
They were like it was a $7 million investment. Another $7 million investment. Right? It was $7 million. Another OPEC American company. These are American companies. You know what I'm saying?
What gets me is why don't you Liberians basically go to OPEC when you over here? And say and get your loans and do something like that, and then you don't need Bob Johnson or anybody else.
No, I don't need. Listen, I'm spending my own money to do my own projects. Okay, I don't need it.
Liberians that are doing big things in Liberia.
Yeah, there are a lot of them.
I got dozens of Liberians doing big things and they don't talk like you do.
Hey, I just don't suck Bob Johnson's dick. That's all.
You know?
I'm just telling you straight up, Bob Johnson. What about Bob Johnson? You got nothing to back it up. Nothing. You cannot refute. You cannot refute anything that I'm saying.
He was a businessman.
Because why? You don't know nothing. You don't know anything about the deal.
Check this out. Bob Johnson.
You don't. You just blindly listen to Bob Johnson. Blindly. Okay. And now you're talking about Lebanese are great and this and that.
I'm saying like that. I'm saying it might be the Lebanese that deliver you.
Okay, if that's what you're saying.
I'm saying like this. Like I said, Bob Johnson got Delta direct flights to Liberia. Talk to the people. Say, yeah, this is a good call. This and the other.
So what? So what?
So what?
Direct flight. What the hell does a Delta direct flight? It doesn't mean nothing. So what? You got $35 million.
That's all you get. That's all you get.
Liberia to hustle.
So what?
Of course.
So what? What now? You know,
bro.
Somebody's actually doing something.
You keep talking about. He brought Delta. Delta is not going to Liberia.
Well, know why? Because you guys basically didn't do your part.
You guys.
You know what I'm saying? You guys, your people on the ground. You didn't do your part. Do you know the refueling in what you call when Brussels have to go there? They refuel and they restock in Sierra Leone and they restock in Togo. Liberia, when the Touareg Party had the country, Liberia used to be the main hub of aircraft carrier.
Pan Am used to go to Liberia. Liberia was a hub.
Had its own freaking airline, Air Liberia, and all the stuff like that. You guys destroyed that. You know what I'm saying? You guys destroyed that. Instead of saying
you guys,
the people who wanted the coup.
It's your freaking government that brought the coup.
I did not bring no damn coup. You know.
It's your fucking tax. It's your tax dollars.
Let me tell you something.
Your government, the United States of America, brought the coup.
Gray African. Let me tell you something. Right? Let me tell you something.
Let me
the
tell you
Bible said,
something,
hold
though,
on,
bro.
let me say
Let's
something.
not talk about. Listen,
Oh,
Liberia was destroyed.
so you guys was misled.
Listen,
You think
the
Doe and
government
all
of the
were misled?
United States, the government of the United States is responsible for the destruction of Liberia.
So you have no responsibility. You had no part in it.
I personally didn't.
No,
Okay,
I'm talking about
but I'm
all
telling
you
you,
people. All you people. I even have friends of mine, right? I have friends of mine, and I had to make peace with them, right? Who basically tell me, yeah, he said, yeah, when that coup happened,
bro,
and the Doe was,
that
he said,
coup
I
happened.
can look. I got indigenous. Most of my friends are indigenous Liberians, right? And they'll tell me, yeah, for a time period, man. You know, when Doe first came here, we thought
But
we were liberated
if
and
your
stuff like
friend, if
that.
any of your
And
friends
you know,
think, if any of your friends think that a bunch of
hold on.
semi-literate,
Almost,
17
most
enlisted men
of my
were able
Liberians
to
are educated.
overthrow a
You know,
government, okay?
the
If
bottom
your
line, you guys
friends
were all
think,
celebrating. You
if
guys were
your
all
friends think
behind the
that
coup.
Dole,
You guys were all but check this
planned
out.
and plotted
You
that
guys were
coup,
all behind the coup. You celebrated it, and you even got a road, Redemption Road. You guys got everything. You still celebrate the coup to this day. Don't tell them make it like the United
bro.
States. You guys wanted that coup. They knew it. That's why they
Oh,
played you.
really?
Just like Inkatha in South Africa. You know, the government of South Africa created Inkatha to fight the ANC. But you can't blame the government of South Africa. It's Inkatha you got to bear responsibility towards. Because they know.
Bro,
because
bro,
you guys were traitors, you know?
you,
You sold out your country.
your government, the government of the United States, overthrew Tolbert because they felt that he was too radical.
They used you to overthrow Tolbert.
They thought that he was too radical. They murdered him, and then they put 17 puppets. Oh, look, there's these 17 guys.
You guys believe that you guys went right on with the United States. Doe met with Ronald Reagan, and he told him the great communicator. He basically went like that. You guys were all Reagan. And know something? You know
that
something? Most
geopolitical...
Liberians who came here as refugees, met yourself, they love George H.W. Bush because you guys came in 91, and that's why he gave y'all those visas to come over here. Most of them are rebels and whatnot, you know.
No. You don't know anything about...
You guys came in 1991. You guys love the Bushes.
Bro,
you guys
you've been
love
to
the
Liberia once.
You guys love Reagan.
You understand?
You guys all love.
You've been to Liberia once. You don't understand the dynamics of it. Okay, George, you know what happened? What they brought. Listen, Doe became an embarrassment. How do you think Charles Taylor escaped prison in the United States and ends up bringing a war to Liberia? Okay, do you think that he actually used bed sheets to crawl out of prison in Massachusetts?
Check this out. I was hanging out with Charles Taylor's son when I was in Liberia. I had his little son with me the whole time when not, you know.
Explain to me how he escaped prison and went up in West Africa to wage war.
What I'm saying is, I know, look, everybody that I met in Liberia, they
told
me that they
explain to me how Charles Taylor, who was in prison,
bro. They love
escaped,
Charles Taylor. You can talk all you
ends
want.
up in West Africa, doesn't get picked up by Interpol,
they love
and then
Charles
wages
Taylor
war.
And whatever it is. It's a college agent. Agent of what? Yo, this guy Rob McCoy, come on the freaking show and show your face and debate me. I'm an agent. Agent of what? They're so freaking stupid. They don't know who the hell's paying me.
You're not an agent. You just don't know what you're talking about half the time. That's the problem.
Everybody in the chat room says I won. You know, I made my case.
I don't think, Tyler, you don't know enough to be.
I think I made my
bro.
You were genuflecting one night.
Answer the question of how Charles Taylor escaped prison.
I don't care about how Charles Taylor got like that.
You're trying to move the goalposts. That's telling you about more invisible hands. You don't understand it.
The subject was
this
about
country was destroyed.
I don't care about Charles Taylor, man.
You don't care about Charles Taylor. What? You don't care about Doe.
My point is this though. It's been 41 years next month that the coup happened in Liberia. 41 years. That's too like that.
And about 30 of those years, and we had Civil War. Civil War that was started by your government.
Check this out. Japan was bombed out of friggin' Hiroshima and Nagasaki. In 10 years, they'll back up and running. 10 years.
But you know what? It's called the Marshall Plan. Where was the Marshall Plan for Liberia?
The bottom line is this, though.
Where was the Marshall Plan? Bro, what you said doesn't make sense, bro. There was a Marshall Plan.
It's been 41 years.
They bombed Nagasaki, they bombed Japan, and they rebuilt it. Okay?
It's been 41 years, bro.
Where is the Marshall Plan for Liberia?
You don't have a Marshall Plan because you guys
don't want you know why? You know why? Let me tell you why.
You killed Tolbert and you got out of OAU And basically all the structures that Liberia had in place, global structures crumbled.
See, you don't know.
And you on your own. You guys were.
You know what it is?
You guys got rid of
Carlo?
Tulip and the True Week Party. Your whole global infrastructure is destroyed.
Bro, that was a very silly analogy between Japan and the United States.
What happened? Hold on.
They come from an ignorant place.
Hold on. What happened to the African Development Bank that was supposed to be in Monrovia?
Bro, we had a civil war. Like what? We had a lot of things that were supposed to be in Monrovia.
The African.
Well, you want to set the bank in the middle of the civil war?
What country was supposed to head the OAU? Right, Liberia.
Yeah,
what country
Liberia
was like the head of what country?
Was murdered.
If Tolbert was so bad as you say, as you guys say, well,
did I say that Tolbert was bad?
I'm saying you guys were so bad. You're defending the coup.
You're not listening.
You're defending the coup.
You're not listening. I'm telling you that your government, the United States of America, is who's changed the stage the coup.
Government. How's it my government?
Yeah, but hold on. Great African, let me interject. See, I think what you're doing, Great African, seriously, you're doing the Nation of Islam deflect. Oh, we didn't have nothing to do with
Okay. Let me, Diners. Let's look at this, okay?
Mm-hmm.
All right. There are geopolitical factors. What I'm saying here is this, okay? You have 17 illiterate privates. The highest among them was a master sergeant. Okay. I'm sorry. I don't believe that they're the ones who mastermind a coup when they couldn't even read what the manifesto was.
No, I agree. But again, I just think you're doing the Nation of Islam shuffle when it comes to Malcolm X. When it comes to Malcolm X, here comes, we didn't have nothing to do with it. It was the government.
We didn't have nothing to do with it. We were completely
innocent. Let's say this. Let me say this, okay? Let me say this. It's not about shifting blame. It's just about stating facts, okay? The fact is that it was the policy of the United States government to get rid of Tolbert.
Okay.
Fact.
Now okay? we should have Willa on here. You know what I'm saying? She's a Liberian right here. She was like this U.S.
See, you like the Liberians who and
she's a Liberian. You should have her on here.
You talk about, it's been 41 years. Look what happened with Japan. Well, read up on, the Marshall Plan. Okay. There was a good lobby. They decided to rebuild Japan. Okay. But we are some Negroes in Liberia. Okay. So if 250,000 of us die, it's not a big freaking deal. It's nothing. Okay. So this is what it is. So in the United States, your government, okay, is responsible for the destruction of Liberia.
That's just deflection. That's the white man is Thanos. That's like here we go.
Okay.
Hear me out. Let me talk. This is what you're doing. The excuse that you're giving is equivalent to black men can't stop killing each other in Chicago.
No.
It's like
I haven't even gotten into. See, before I was cut off. Collar went off on a rant. Collar went off on a rant about tribalism. I was trying to tell you that we're talking about the coup, and I'm telling you that from the Civil War itself, the destruction that happened was tribal war. Okay, if anybody says that the Civil War in Liberia was, I lived it. Okay, so it's not like a speculation thing about that. So I know straight. Okay, if you came from a certain tribe,
there's also criminals.
Government checkpoint.
Great African. Can we agree on this? There was also a lot of gangs, drug going on and whatnot, smuggling, and some of everything. It was all complete chaos. They stripped the Mount Coffee dam of its copper to sell on the black
Charles
market.
Taylor. Charles Taylor.
Don't blame Charles. You don't want to blame Charles Taylor. It was all you Negroes.
Bro.
Even the Nigerians
joined in. Why are you defending? Now you're defending Charles Taylor.
No responsibility for themselves. That's what's dangerous.
Okay.
I'll tell you in a minute.
Charles Taylor blows up a dam, and I'm saying Charles Taylor blew up a dam, and you're saying
talk about black on black crime in America, right? Do I ever deflect when I do I take
ownership? Did Charles Taylor not destroy the Mount Coffee dam?
Taylor, you Negroes did that.
It wasn't Charles Taylor.
Charles Taylor.
Oh, okay. See, that's why I know you're biased.
No responsibility.
You don't know what am I supposed to take responsibility for?
Shots to soldiers in there and whatnot. All Charles Taylor did was him and Prince Johnson did was overthrow Doe and take over the government. And he got elected in 97. by a majority.
Yeah, Charles Taylor was a charismatic guy.
So the bottom line. So stop talking about Charles Taylor because all you're doing is
you know what the downfall of Charles Taylor was?
You're repeating
the
international community.
Kept his butt in Liberia.
Check this out. I had a serious comment with some Charles Taylor people.
Charles Taylor,
the international community got
if Charles
Negroes
Taylor
like you. That's why he's in jail right now because you Negroes destroyed Liberia and whatnot, and they want to put it all on Charles Taylor. You know, come on,
bro. You're biased. Man. You're biased. You're biased because you know why? You're looking at Charles Taylor because you think he's an American Liberian, so he can do no wrong.
Charles Taylor was a warlord. He was what? Okay. That's what the internet. Charles Taylor didn't want the white man coming in doing what the hell he wanted to do. And they didn't like that. They didn't like Charles Taylor. He stood up to these people, you know. And you guys, and they know there's always good people like you that they can use and whatnot. And say, yeah, Charles Taylor's a bad guy, and you know you're gonna get closer with the white man in the West. It's the same way you did with Doe and whatnot, you know, and against Tolbert and whatnot. And they said like this, so see, the white man. I saw this one thing where when Jimmy Carter came in 1978.
Straight up,
right? There was so many.
You don't know what you're talking about.
There were so many white Peace Corps workers there, and Malcolm X always said this. He said, "Beware those white Peace Corps people in Africa." And when after that coup happened, right, all those Peace Corps workers had Jubilation Day after the coup. After the execution, April 14th, April 22nd, right? They had this is a day of jubilation. White Peace Corps people dancing in the street with the likes of you. You know,
right. You know what it is? About. You know who those white those Peace Corps. That was the CIA agent.
You gotta know who you're talking to.
That's the CIA agent. You don't know shit, bro. And you know what? I'm pretending myself. I'm pretending myself because you know what? I don't want to snap.
Sleeping with those white girls up there, and they got to you.
You don't know.
They got to you. You know what I'm saying? They let you sleep with their white girls, and they got to you.
You're a fraud. You're a fraud, man. You're here.
I never called you a fraud.
You Negro.
I never called you a fraud. You're losing the debate. So you're trying to assault me. You're losing.
I'm not losing the debate.
You're losing the debate. So why are you calling me a fraud?
No, you're not. You are losing the debate because you're not talking straight. You're talking about Charles Taylor, okay, as if to say he's a hero. Charles Taylor didn't do anything.
I never said he was a hero.
Who the fuck is you, Negro?
Take some responsibility for all the destruction that was in the country. It ain't all just on Charles Taylor.
There were at some point at least
like
8
20 different militia groups in Liberia.
Okay, there were at least 8 different warring factions in Liberia at some point at the height of the war. More than that. Okay, so it became everybody for themselves. Okay, so all these different
how can that be a civil war? That's not a civil war. Like I told you, I said that was a war of anarchy and destruction. It wasn't a civil war. Everybody was for themselves. They were robbing, looting, killing, banditry, and everything going on. And
you know who the biggest army, who had the biggest rebel army? It was Charles Taylor. Okay,
Charles Taylor,
a guy that escaped from your jail in Massachusetts. And came into Liberia. Okay, so when you guys look at it, and you're looking at real international conspiracy, but you want to write it off as, oh, you Negroes destroyed the country.
Why is this something? It's very simple, you know. It's the same thing that's going on right now with this guy Henry Costa. Same freaking mentality. Same mentality. You know, and you know what I'm talking about. You know
what? I don't like. Hey, let me be real with you.
Hold on.
Henry Costa is not. I'm not a fan of Henry Costa.
Hold on. If Henry Costa,
so I'm gonna before you even say anything,
you guys are gonna be out there. Yeah. Is that your guy? Yeah. Because all you know is war and destruction.
Is Henry Costa your boy?
No, he's not my boy. He's a clown.
Okay, that's good. We agree on that.
It was the same.
We agree on that.
Now, if he gets in power, let's say he gets in power and whatnot. The average Liberian, Henry Costa, Henry Costa and whatnot. Yeah, Henry Costa. I know the mentality.
He couldn't even win a representative seat. He ran and lost.
He had insurrection last year, a year ago.
He lost. He lost.
He had insurrection, but he staged an insurrection in the country, and he's threatening another one right now.
Right. He is. Yeah. You know what he is? You know what it is? He's sitting here in the United States talking all that noise. Okay. So yeah, Henry Costa, we agree on him. Okay.
What I'm trying to say is this, man. I'm telling you right now, Liberians on the ground, they're tired of nigga shit. They really are. They're tired of all this shit.
Liberians on the ground. See, that's the other thing that you do, Carla. You always have a thing to say about African immigrants and Liberians here. The ones on the ground are my friends. The ones here. Oh,
Yeah, the
but
ones
you can't
here,
look
the
at
most of the ones
you
here
got-
ain't shit.
Huh?
I'll say that, you know, I'll say it. The
What?
ones that sit on Facebook all day talking smack all day, they ain't shit. They got no respect in Liberia. Nobody
Yeah,
cares.
I mean,
Nobody cares about your Western Union money. They don't care. They're making it without you.
well, you know
They're
what?
like,
I'm
we're
not a
gonna cut off,
Facebook.
we're gonna
I'm
cut
not a
off your
face.
Western Union.
I'm not
You'll
even
give us
on
dual
fucking
citizenship, so we
Facebook,
can
so
sit,
that doesn't matter.
sit in America.
So
We can sit in
you
America
can
and
say,
causing all this trouble and not.
but
You
what
know,
I'll
not
tell
that,
you,
know,
what
they're
I'm gonna
like,
tell
man,
you this. I'm
stay
gonna
in
tell you
America.
this. Bro. I'm gonna tell you this. You need to educate yourself on Liberia because
Oh,
from what I observe, you don't know shit.
okay,
From
okay,
what I observe, you don't know shit on the real.
okay, okay,
Yeah, let's
okay.
agree on that.
Okay,
Let's agree on that.
let's not agree.
Yeah, let's agree on that. So, yeah, that's good. So that's it.
And nothing against you, great African brother. I love you.
No.
You know what I'm
Look,
saying, but
listen,
you're wrong as two left.
I like you as a person. I think you're miseducated, bro.
No, I think I'm very educated.
You're
I think you have
miseducated.
a narrative.
And
Hold on, you have a narrative that. Hold on,
and
look. I get it, right? You're a proud African Gio man,
I'm
Mono
not
man.
a Gil man.
Oh,
I'm
you're a
not
Gio.
Gil.
You're from Nimba, right?
I'm from Nimba, but I'm not a Gil.
You're a
I'm
Mono.
Mono.
Oh,
Yeah,
Mono,
y'all
same
always
thing.
fuck that up
Same
and
thing.
get
Same
us
thing.
mixed up.
Same thing. Come on, same
It's
thing.
not the same
You know?
fucking thing. We're different,
It's
but
the
we're
same
cool.
thing, man.
In times of war,
The
we
bottom
united.
line,
We're one.
you're a proud Mono man. I get that, right? You look at your country and whatnot, and the bottom line is this: I used to do the same thing with Black America, right?
You
Every
still
time
doing it though,
let
bro.
me say this, right? Every time Black America fucks up, whatnot, you know, especially white people,
You
thing. Now I just came to the conclusion, man. Yo, we got some serious fucking problems. We
let
fucked
me
up.
ask you a question.
Oh, we got
Is
a lot
there
of fucking.
anything?
The bottom line is, why is it that?
Can
Why
I
is it
ask
that
one question?
can't
Can I
do
ask
that?
you one question?
Yeah.
Is there anything that American Liberians ever did wrong in Liberia?
Yeah, they did a lot of wrong. I did shows about that. Yeah, they did a lot wrong. One for the one thing is what they should have did was, right. The first thing they should have did was when they found out there was minerals in the interior, right. What they should have did was they should have broke up Liberia into two separate states, right, and let the indigenous people govern themselves and control the resources from the interior. That would have kept them in the people from coming to Monrovia in large numbers, right? And you would never had that conflict. They should have moved the capital to the interior, right? The capital should never be where the main commercial hub is, right? And they should have had a thing where they were a federal system, right? Which they gave local people their own government, their own way
You're
of
talking
raising
about
taxes.
tactical mistakes.
Hold on. I'm just telling you, right? But here's the thing. We know the government, the way it was set up is for the people of Monrovia to govern the whole country. Why is it that when the indigenous people had the power, why didn't they change that? They actually doubled down on that, right? Why
It's
is
the same
Monrovia
reason
center
why.
power? They had a chance to change that, right? They had a chance to change that, right? They looked at the mistakes of the American Liberians, and you know what they did? They became the American Liberians.
Bro, it wasn't change, it was exchange.
No,
right?
they came. So you guys basically don't sit here and preach all self-righteous to me because you guys, I see for myself, you guys are no different than the American Liberians are. No different. I look at
I don't
both
know
groups
when you
the
say
same.
you
You guys
guys,
are
I don't know.
exactly the
Bro,
same.
okay, you understand you understand that for example, colonialism, right? Okay, it's the
Liberia
same
wasn't
thing.
colonial.
When you
Liberia
take
wasn't colonial.
over, when you
Colonial
take
didn't
over,
happen. Like you don't know nothing about colonialism because it never happened in Liberia. There were no
bro,
white
it's the
people in
same
Liberia.
freaking results. I don't have to be. I don't have to be.
That's not the same friggin' thing.
It's the same result
No, it's
as
not the same. No, it's not the damn
where
same.
the so-called indigenous. Listen, okay, give me 2 minutes, man. Okay, can you give me 2 minutes?
Okay. 2 minutes
Okay,
of friggin' false.
you just said. Oh, y'all took over. Y'all want to say you did the same thing the American Liberians do. It's the same freaking stuff that happens in any colonial system. Okay, where one group takes over and they're like, "Oh, okay, this is cool. Why are we gonna change anything? We can
All you have
control
to do is
everything
read Animal
the way
Farm.
it is."
Have you ever read Animal Farm, Great African?
Of course, it's
All right,
Animal Farm.
if you really read Animal Farm, we wouldn't be having this discussion right now.
Hey, I'm not telling you. I haven't seen a leader. I've not seen a Liberian president or a leader that I can say yes, I'm with this person. Okay, the closest person to that was Tolbert, but he also had a whole bunch of contradictions too. While he was criticizing South Africa, okay, and doing all of this stuff, he was also residing over a system of inequity in his own country. Okay, but he was actually probably the best president that we had. We had what? We had Doe, who was a puppet of the United States, who they used during the Cold War. Okay, all right. So that's not an example of an indigenous leader. Okay. Charles Taylor was actually elected, but he made a foolish mistake in getting himself involved deeply in Sierra Leone. So that's why he's gone.
Oh, they,
Okay.
oh,
So
what they say. So they have no. It's not conclusive. They say they have really no conclusive. They wanted Charles Taylor out, and why is he in Britain? You know,
Charles Taylor set a trap for himself, bro. When his vice president told him, when his vice president told him not to go to.
Hold up, just like your Gbagbo in Ivory Coast, when the international community falls out with you, they don't want you. They got enough Africans who don't because they play on your tribalism and
Charles
Taylor gotta go. If I was every Liberian should have said, "We don't like Charles Taylor. We're not going to hand it over." You guys are the first African.
I'm trying to educate you, bro.
Hand over your leader to the Europeans. The first African country to do that,
bro.
The only African country.
Charles Taylor, murder his vice president because his vice president told him to get the hell out of Sierra Leone when he got elected with 75% of the vote.
You got proof of that?
I got proof of it.
What proof? Where?
You want to talk about it? We can talk about it, but yeah.
No, another show.
You know, Dokolia, who killed him? How was he murdered? Okay. He was Charles Taylor's vice president. Look it up.
Well, you gotta get some proof. It's another show. No,
it's not. Hey, I'm just telling you. I'm telling you why Charles Taylor went down. He got elected 75% of the vote, and he squandered it.
Well, the bottom line is, as soon as he got elected, Madam Sirleaf, and this is another thing. When Africans don't get their way at the polls, right? They don't stay in the country and try to just do something, go back and say, they leave the country, right? As soon as their party lose, they leave the country, right? They go across the seas. They try to get audience with enemies of that country, whatever. They try to
get what Charles Taylor did.
Hold on. Well, of course, yeah, he did. I'll give you that. He did that, and that's been a thing of Africa. You know why? Because
that's why they
hold on. But you know, one country they couldn't do that with Libya. When a Libyan went abroad, right? They had people follow them in their countries.
Hey, Kyle, so you know who else does that? Your boy Kagame in Rwanda.
Yeah, Kagame. Yeah, he watches people overseas. And when you come back to the country, you get briefed. Who are you talking to? Whatever like that. What's your social media? Everything like that. Liberia to this day don't have that. It's still like a trusting people. You got people that wanted to see another war. You got people that really want to bring another war to Liberia. They want to see destruction. And you got people
I hope not.
You got people that still want to kill American Liberians after all these years. And they're out there.
Who?
I said, don't play dumb with me. You know what I'm talking about.
I'm not playing dumb with you.
Don't play dumb with me. You know what I'm talking about.
Nobody give a damn about
every day. Go through all this. Nobody cares about that shit. People, you got so many Liberians.
Like the American Liberian thing, it's been 40 years, bro.
No. And you guys still haven't gotten over it. You guys still talk about it. I got to hold up.
Okay, listen. Stop with your American Liberian bias crap.
Hold on. Let me read something to you, right? I just got an inbox this afternoon, right? A good friend of mine, Liberian, right? Me and him don't agree on it because he hates the fact that I supported Trump, right? But him and I are good friends. He's a Liberian right now. And he said to me, he says, Kala, you fully aware how the 1847 Crusaders, indigenous sycophants are distorting the facts about the true Whig Party tenure in office. So why should any African, he talked about me going to support Liberia. I said, I love both Liberians, Miracles.
Yeah, he's an idiot.
Hold on, listen to what I'm saying. He says, so why should any African-American descent want to help redeem them from this mess they created over 40 freaking years later? I'm so fed up with their idiosyncrasies and mediocrity as it relates to governing a very complex and divisive nation. Bob Johnson tried without any success after investing millions of dollars into the local economy. They are ungrateful and hateful. Ungrateful and hateful.
Well, you know what it is? That dude is an idiot.
Oh, no, I bet you one day, if you got him on Christopher Jackson, he's more educated than you are. and he got on here right here. He blow you out
You
the
have
door.
he's not more educated than me
Oh,
because
no,
what he just said was a bunch of garbage.
I'm not saying you stupid, man, but from what I heard from you right now, he'll kill you in the debate.
You know what? What you just read was the most ignorant ass shit
Well,
that anybody can say. And you think
that's what I'm trying to say. I'm not saying I agree with it, but that's what the sentiment
that
again,
is, and that's who you call educated, though. You call him educated.
Bottom line, they're saying, well, why
He's
is it
not.
that you guys? Well,
He's
why
an
you guys?
idiot.
Why is it that? Why
He
is it
doesn't
that
know what
people-
he's talking about.
So basically, what he's saying is basically
What he's saying is he doesn't know what he doesn't know. He's a dumb.
So nobody knows. But you.
Okay. So
Nobody knows anything
don't
but
tell
you.
me about no educated. Nobody. Fuck that. Nobody. He's not educated. More educated than me. I
Oh,
got
he's
two
like
fucking
he's more-
master's degree too.
Well, let's say he's more
You know what I'm
enlightened.
saying?
He's more enlightened than you are.
He's not enlightened. He's a fool.
All right,
He
guys,
doesn't know what
let's
he's
do this.
talking
We're gonna. I want to bring Mike on real quick, but Great African. What we'll do, Kyle's gonna come back on this week, and we're gonna discuss his book.
Hey,
Yeah.
if you want to discuss some real shit, let's do it because you know what? No, seriously, this is
Great African. You mad?
this is the most ignorant ass shit that I've ever heard. You just had some dude write about
the Great African.
something, and then you're talking about he's educated. Please, you can't even carry my water, bro.
Listen. Great African. Hey, listen. Great African is more mad than when he told a story about when the police pulled him over and grabbed his sack.
Grab your shit.
About that.
Facts. And you know what else, dude? And the reason that is because you were talking about Trump. And Trump is the dude who says the police are all good. And I brought that up because
Listen, me and Kyle was talking about this today. Biden's been in office for 2 months now. What happened to get justice for Breonna Taylor? What happened to George Floyd?
bro,
What everybody?
Where's your stimulus check? You ain't getting that, you know.
listen, we don't want to talk about get into the old legislation, talk about Trump and all of that other stuff. One thing you know, you have to know, Kala, if you're such the educated person that you are, the great researcher that you are, go ahead and research what we just discussed. Educate yourself.
Great African.
Educate yourself and then come back.
And like I said,
Okay.
one thing I have.
When you look at idiots who write shit like what that dude just wrote, and then you say he's educated.
Great African. The advantage I have over you when I thought that is I have a PhD in what? Negroology, you know?
You know what?
I understand the Negro. You're giving me Negroism, you know?
You know what, bro? The advantage I have over you, you know what the advantage I have over you?
He'll
you know what? This is my advantage over you, Colin. You know what it is? I am psychologically, I can get into my African American mode, and I'm very, very much African. So my brain is bicontinental. You understand? I can speak your language, but you can't speak mine.
Negroism.
Okay. So that's what it is, dude. I'm just as African American. I can get in my African American mode, okay, and get into it and come at you that way. And I can also get into my African world mode, which you can't really get into that much, but you can if you listen.
All right, Great African. Hey, so when Kala comes on, we're gonna discuss his book.
Hey, next time, just hit me up when Kala's coming on, and I'll come on too.
Okay, all right,
right,
Great African. Appreciate it, brother.
Love.
All right, peace. All right, Mike. We'll close out with you, Mike. Go ahead, Mike. Your boy, Mike. Go ahead, Mike.
Hey, man, I just called in, man, because I just wanted to let the two brothers understand something, though. Like, if you guys want to discuss the civil war in Liberia, or at the same way I always tell my other Africans that had civil wars, that the countries that had the same civil wars, during that time. You have to look at it beyond the context of just the shore of that country you're talking about. Because if you can look at it beyond the shore, you will get a better understanding, and you won't have to argue about the ethnic side of it. You understand? The thing is this, you have to understand, Kala, during that time, coups and civil wars being orchestrated all over Africa. As Liberia had a civil war, Nigeria also had a civil war, Congo had a civil war, Sierra Leone had a civil war, and all these wars are for the same reason. vested interest. And the reason why this war created so much ethnic issue within these nations is because we don't educate ourselves beyond the shores of our nation when it comes to discussing the politics of their war. You understand? We all look at the same way these two brothers argue. This is exactly the same way Nigerians argue about the Nigerian Civil War. He was the Fulani, he was the Igbos, but if they take time to look out and see that it wasn't only Nigeria that the war was going on. It was going on in Congo. The war was going on in Liberia. It's the same thing. Vested interest. The CIA, the Western nations, they created a policy called DDD, 3D. Destabilize, depopulate, and deindustrialize.
Why does it work? Hold on, let me ask you a question, Mike. Let me ask you a question. Stop right there. They tried that with Cuba and they failed. They tried that with Singapore, Lee Kuan Yew. They tried the same thing, it didn't fail. Why is these
I
things
think that's a
always...
special case, Carla.
Hold on. Let me ask you a question. They tried 27 assassinations against Fidel Castro. He had enough power to send army to Angola and help liberate Angola. What is it about the black man? You know, I'm just saying it's Africans, black man. Why?
I don't disagree with you. Africa have to take responsibility. Black people, yeah, go ahead.
We always say black people are strong, but we're so fucking weak. You know,
right.
Basic things. Yo, look, we're both black. There's an outside enemy, right? This is another thing. What analogy I want to talk about, right? Usually, when and Africans are just so loving and trusting to outsiders, not each other, right? Usually, when an enemy from afar, hold up. Usually, when an enemy comes from afar, right? Enemies near each other say, "Look, we got an enemy afar. He's greater. We got to band together." The Greek states did that against the Persians, right? The Chinese Han states did that against the Mongols, right? The Britons, the Gauls, everything did that against the Romans, right? Because they said, "Look, we're enemies, right?" The Gauls, when they fought against the Romans, right? They said, "We got to unite the Gauls against the Romans." What is it about when the white man came to Africa, wanted slaves, gold, everything, right? The Africans start looking at his neighbor as the enemy instead of the white man. That's coming from afar away. Why is that? What is it about the African that they didn't say? Only one was Shaka Zulu and Queen Azinga. Queen Azinga and Shaka Zulu saw the white man as the enemy.
And then we have to agree with you is this. Yes, you're correct. And the bigger tragedy is that we haven't learned. Now, this is what I think way forward for black people, Africans first, and then black people globally. First thing first we have to do is this. We have to look back from before slavery to colonialism to the cool civil war until today. And we have to take complete responsibility.
That's what I was trying to say. We got to take responsibility.
That's why I wish that was a brother didn't leave, because I was going to tell him, brother, man, there's no need to be arguing, man. There's no point. Just take complete responsibility and not blame the white man. Forward. And not blame the white man for anything. I've got to that point where I don't even blame white man for anything he's done, dude. Because this man is doing everything for his own interest.
Right. This is what Luke Major always says. You know, he's gonna keep doing what he's doing, but why do you keep falling for the same script,
shit?
You know, all the time. At some point in time, we gotta take responsibility.
We just gotta take complete responsibility for everything that has happened to us, man. Everything. We just gotta accept that we failed ourselves. And the best thing we have to do is these things that happen. It's very important that we sit down and actually address it and discuss it and document it and just take emotion out of it. Stop defending your tribe and trying to defend your group. We just got to document it and look at where the failures, the mistakes, and everything, and just educate the next generation so that history does not continue to repeat itself. Because these things are like it's just happening, dude.
And it can happen again.
And it can happen again.
People don't want to take responsibility. It could happen again in Liberia.
Yeah, even Nigeria.
Yeah, all over Africa.
Because what we do is we don't take responsibility for none of it. What we do is we just sit down and just point fingers somewhere, and we don't even try to we don't even try to investigate what happened. Most Africans don't even know what happened. It's so funny that even these countries, the Europeans, convinced this government not to even teach these things in school. Nigeria had a civil war where we lost millions of people. They don't teach it in school. Because why? They don't want them to learn. They don't teach slavery in school. They don't, that's where we're getting it wrong. That's where the black man is getting it wrong. And he always hurt my heart, not because of us today, because I'm thinking like children are gonna be born in the next 150 years. What the hell is their future like? They're probably gonna have the same civil war.
The topic of the show was, are we really serious about the future? No, we don't even want to know about slavery.
We're not serious,
man.
We're not
serious about shit, you know?
We're not serious, man. We're not serious. And what hurt me is this, man. See, I think we have to dump foreign religion, because our African spirituality teaches us that we're gonna reincarnate to the same family, and that's why I'm always scared, because when I die, I'm gonna come back, you know. And when I come back, what kind of world am I coming back to, man? You know, God knows I don't want to be born and find myself born into slavery or civil war. You know, we're not thinking about these things. You know, we're not thinking, and that's the biggest strategy. Even Nigeria, when we sit down, it's the same shit. We don't know what really happened. We just everybody just form different kind of version of what happened, and everybody trying to defend their group. That like we got to just sit down and document and find out. Most Africans don't even know that these wars the Europeans were part of, were the one orchestrating it from the background. They don't know. They just believe it was one tribe that woke up and fuck another tribe up, and that's it. And they're beefing over it, you know. And this cause is still there, you know. That's the biggest strategy. I wish we can just find a group of leaders that can just come together and just start documenting, put the facts and figures and everything, and tell what are the lessons we got to learn to make sure this thing, we got to teach it to our children, make sure these things don't repeat itself.
You know, that's what white people do. They put it in books, movies. So this is what went wrong. This is what happened. There's so many different. How many movies about Lincoln was ever made? Tons of them. How many movies were made about the Civil War, the Revolutionary War, the Roman Empire, and everything? They tell you their history and everything in books and every way they can get it to you in cartoons, whatever it is, to make you know the narrative and everything, like what's going on. Black people, we don't take the time to do that. You know, we just don't. That we don't know what's going on. I mean, I was talking to a Nigerian girl years ago, and she was like, why are you so interested in Africa? I said, well, my ancestors. She goes, really? She goes, I go, yeah, I'm African. She goes, oh, you are? I said, how'd you get to America? Lord have mercy. No lie. She goes, how'd you get to America then? I'm like, what? I said, you never heard about slavery? She said, no, we never heard about it. I'm like, geez.
Oh, see, the thing is this, man. We be conditioned that the ultimate thing you're living for is to make money, to become rich. And the reality of that is that everyone is not going to become rich in this life. That's not the most important thing, man. We just got to change our whole mind frame. You got to start with changing the curriculum, start teaching kids from early age in life that, listen, man, success in life is not how much money you're going to end up making. Success in life is
how your fellow. What are you going to leave to this world?
To this world.
You know? We're Africans, we're black people, we're so devalued that we don't think we're worth anything unless we're balling out of control and everything. That's why we're let's laugh, man. But I looked at it, man. Even when I went to Liberia, man, God, man, these brothers know how to dress. I'm like, yo, man, the motherfuckers could have like $20 in his bank account, but yo, he was like $1 million. That's how I said, this ain't just Black America. Black people love this is part of our culture. We're Asians, like Bill Gates. What do you see him in? Old dirty sweater on, a billionaire. You know, all these guys dressed like bums. Bill Gates and these other people, Warren Buffett and everything. Mark Zuckerberg wears a T-shirt and everything. Black men, we want to show the world we got the wealth. But that goes back in our history. That's something. How do we? Evidently, it's not going nowhere, right? But how do we balance that out, right? We need a cultural revolution. You know,
we gotta start with the kids, man. We gotta start with the kids. You know, we just gotta find some type of curriculum where we all just put together and just to change the like your knowledge is what controls you. I think things we consume is just wrong information. You know, so right. It's not our nature. It's just things we learn. You know. So
no, but this goes back. It's in African culture. It's not just here. It's been like that a long time. Even in the Mali Empire, people walk down the streets and find clothes and gold and jewelry. We just have a culture. We like looking good and we like flashy stuff. That's part of who we are, I guess. You know, it's in our DNA. You know, it's something that's in us in our culture. No matter where you go in the Black world, you know, it is what it is. But we think that's more important than actually having something. and actually building something. You know, that's why people don't like Paul Kagame. Paul Kagame is making people work and live within their means when they hate him. You know, it's a shock therapy. It must be hard. People want to ball out of control in Rwanda, but he said it's more important to build clean roads and have people cleaning up their streets on Saturdays. You know, that's shock. Maybe that's what happens. You know, it might have to happen like that. You might have to have maybe we need, because the Chinese went through the same thing. Maybe we need like a Mao Zedong. I'm not a communist. Like maybe we need like a Maoist revolution, a cultural revolution to change black people. You know. We probably need that re-education camps. We not probably
re-education. That's the key, man. Re-education. We just got. It's all. That's how these people do it, man. That's how the Europeans. That's how the Chinese. That's how everybody else is doing it, man. In fact, these people change their curriculums every 10 years just to fit the future for the next generation. It's all but we're not doing. We just don't have the. Like I said, man, the roots of our problem is just we just don't have that leadership, man. It's like every black society I go to. That every black community I go to all over this planet, man, it's just on that leadership in charge, man. They just care about where we going, what's the direction. Life is a journey, but we don't have no direction. It's like every black man for himself.
We have no goddamn direction. We have no direction whatsoever. That's why I said, man, when you start talking preaching Pan-African, get serious. Give people direction. Say, look, tell them what they don't want to hear. That's the whole thing. You always can tell people what they want to hear. When you start telling people, like the people in the chat room, hate my guts, don't even know me. College sucks. College, hate like that. I'm telling you something that you need to hear. You don't want to hear, but you're gonna hear it. Because I am not here for no popularity. I'm only here to tell it like it is.
Everybody want to protect their feelings. So
I don't care about people. I would say F your feelings.
Well, hey, thanks, man.
I appreciate it, Mike. Thank you. But go ahead, bro. No. Oh, Mike, send me your address so I can send you your card and your book.
Okay. And Audrey in the chat room, she was the one that actually, brought it to my mind. Like, hey, Mike, man, you need to send Danny's super chat. I'm like, oh, okay. That's what I said. So I think you need to send her a postcard as well, Well,
I'll send me your address. I send your postcard too. No problem.
Somebody named Eric G saying mute collar. Somebody named ACBN when says, can I check in? You have 2 hours to call in.
Yeah. Well, but the collar will be back on. All right.
And people are scared
twice a week, so
they talk junk, but they don't have the balls to get on here and challenge me and whatnot. They don't come on. You ain't got the balls. You ain't got the balls because you're a sissy.
All right, Diane's, man. I'll talk to you guys later, man.
All right, y'all. We're about to close out. Everyone, thank you so much for joining. Like, share, subscribe.
Show, man. It's only
the collar will be back on, I guess, Wednesday.
Wednesday, I got my show. I don't know what Wednesday. Maybe I don't. How about we just do Saturday?
Saturday night. The collar will be back on Saturday night, you guys. So. Until next time, family, Donnie Zamir, search for Huru. Peace.